Four. Hello and welcome to another Saturday night Stack Chat with me, the Stack Collector, sponsored by Stackers Social, the place for us to get together, hang out and talk about all things shiny and round. And tonight I have the absolute pleasure of being joined by somebody who I consider to be a very good friend of mine actually. It's somebody I've met in person and I'm sure you all know and love him already. So without any further delay, let's say a massive and huge welcome to the mighty Cobra Stacker. Cobra, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, brother. Thank you so much for having me on, and hello, everybody out there.
Absolutely. We'll do a very quick name call to the early guys. We've got Luke, BBA, Silver Stag Stacker, CY Sterling, Oziak, Jamie Frost, and also Dave Richardson as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday night. It's an absolute pleasure to have each and every single one of you here with us. Before we go any further, I do just want to say a massive and special thank you to Cobra right here, because Cobra has sent across some absolutely incredible pieces for us to give away at the end of the month in the Stackers Social birthday party. So Cobra, thank you so very much. They truly are incredible pieces. Do you want to give us a bit more information about them?
Well, first, it's an absolute pleasure, bro, and congratulations to you guys for setting up something so good, which has lasted a year now,
Yeah.
or coming up to a year. That's pretty amazing in itself. Um, so, what I donated was three of the planets. So, there's a whole set of planets, and it's Mercury, Mars, and Earth. And you get a 2 ounce disc, which is silver, and then you get a crystal or mineral ball for the planet. And they're limited. I think off the top of my head, they're a
500.
thousand pieces each,
No, I
five
think it's
hundred pieces
500,
each.
yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so super low mintage.
Yeah, low mintage, and they're just really nice pieces. And I think once anyone who gets the whole collection, it'll look quite nice on a display or anything like that. So yeah, I just thought let's make it a bit special. It's the first year, so that's why I donated that.
Yeah, and massively generous of you, mate. Honestly, it's such a fantastic thing for you to do. So, yeah, once again, mate, thank you so very much for that. So, one thing we'll obviously discuss tonight, we might as well get it out of the way early, is I'm sure everybody already knows that every single Friday you do a fantastic live auction. And last night was no different. So, how did it get on last night? Did you have a good night?
Well, last night was very, very special, bro. So, for those who don't know, in the auction, I have a pyramid, and in the pyramid, every week I put 1 ounce of silver, and then some of the guys will donate a bit of silver as well. And we built it up to 27 ounces of silver.
Wow.
So, averaging out, the actual pot was £810, roughly, in silver. And we have a spin wheel, and anyone can play, even if you're not a member and you're just in the chat and all that. Like anyone can play, and it was one. It was one last night. It was a proper exciting moment, and yeah, it just made my night. It was absolutely brilliant. So massive, the biggest jackpot we've had so far, 810. The others have been about 350, £400 worth of silver, but that was £810 one. So yeah, brilliant. So we got to restart that pot.
Absolutely incredible. What a lucky guy it was to take that home. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the pyramid game that you do on the channel. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But there's also there's a bit of a cheat if you wanted to have a go and didn't want to guess the correct number, isn't there?
A cheat.
If people wanted to have a
Oh
yeah,
yes. So they donate.
yeah,
So they donate and they get a free spin.
that's it. So anybody who
So if you
donates,
donate an ounce, yeah, if you donate an ounce of silver into the pot, then you get a free spin, and that is how Steve Davis won it last night. That's how he won it. He donated. In fact, a few people donated, and Gandalf was another one, and he went just before Steve Davis, and it was like millimeters away
ooh,
from the win.
ooh,
And then Steve had a go, and bang, it hit in.
there you go.
Unbelievable.
There you go. Absolutely incredible. So well done, Steve. I mean, like you say, what an incredible pot to win. £800 worth of silver. That's insane. And it's not a one-off, is it? It's something that you do very regular, every single week. You know, you give multiple chances for people to win. Obviously, the longer it goes without a winner, the bigger the pot will get. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah.
it's a lot of fun. And there's another thing you've introduced into the auctions recently that I'm a big fan on because, as we probably know, if anyone's been following the channel for a little while, I'm a bit of a fan of a mystery box, and you've got a bit of a mystery tube, haven't you?
I do. So there's a tube. It holds probably about 25 1 ounce silver pieces, but somewhere in there is always a 2 ounce. So you're paying £32 to have a go on the tube, and you can get any 1 ounce coin, some really nice ones, some regular ones, but someone hits that 2 ounce coin, and they basically get a 2 ounce coin for £32.
Wow, that's incredible, isn't it? So yeah, definitely worth having a go at the mystery tube. I mean, I just think it's fun, playing that little
It
bit
is.
of the
It's a
lottery.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing with the auction. It isn't just one of them boring, right, the next item is this, who wants it, bid, blah, blah, blah. No, it's a fun night. It's a really good crowd. We've had some great people join, and we just want it nice, happy, and like a little family. And we just have a really good laugh and a good time and do loads of different stuff in it.
Yeah, and it is always a good laugh. I always pop in as much as I can. Last night I was saying to go before we started, I was so tired. I fell asleep on my settee halfway through, unfortunately. But I always have a great time whenever I pop in there. A lot of the times I don't buy, and if you're the same, if you just want to pop in and have a laugh and a chat, then you're more than welcome, aren't they?
And that's exactly it. You don't have to buy. You really don't. You can come just to join in the chat. You can come to see some amazing pieces because we've got some really big collectible pieces which are very expensive. You've got your normal bullets. So you can just watch, enjoy it. It's a Friday night where we have a good laugh, good bit of banter. I drink a load of Baileys most of the time, like a litre bottle.
Why not?
And Stephen, God's money, always has a go at me for not drinking out of a glass. But I just swig it straight out of the bottle. So it's just a relaxed atmosphere and a good laugh. And if you want to pick up anything, then that's great. And if you just want to chat and all that, it's just really good to have a load of people in there. It's just such a good laugh.
It's just, I will say, it can be difficult not buying when you're in there, but that's only because of the absolutely stunning and amazing pieces that you're able to get. It can be quite difficult. I have to sometimes sit on my hand and put the keyboard on the other side of the room just so I don't have a sneaky little bit. But I've definitely picked up at least some of my favourite pieces from your auction. I mean, one of my very favourite pieces is the 2 ounce Red Dragon, the Dungeons and Dragons 50th anniversary.
Yeah,
that was one piece I got from your auction at a great price. I mean, it's a very premium piece, but I picked it up for a great price for what it was. And there's been so many amazing pieces I've been able to pick up from the auction. So I think it's a fantastic thing you're doing. And like you say, it's a bit like what we're doing tonight. It gives people a chance to get together and interact with us and have a bit of a fun night. Before we move on from the auction, there's just one last thing I want to bring up. I believe the vault has moved home, hasn't it?
In what way?
It's gone from Telegraph.
No. So if you're part of the vault, the Telegram's still there. You win free silver in there. I'm going to be doing some other little things like pre-sales in there and all that. I have joined a Facebook group.
Okay.
It's with a couple of other people. I did originally start a Facebook group on my own, but then I was invited into another group, which is a private group. We're just testing that out at the moment. But no, Telegram will always stay for the members.
Okay.
Because it gives them that special sort of thing there. And we have a lot of fun in there because they all get a membership card, and I'll turn around and say the first person to show your card next to a Frankfurter wins, and you will be amazed at how quickly people find these bits or have even run to the shop, and we're all in hysterics where someone's going, I'm running at the shop, or my wife thinks I'm mad because I've just peeled an onion.
I love it.
So
they are so funny. I mean, I've tried a few times, and there's one of two things will always happen for me. I'll either have my card with me or the item you want the card next to with me, but I'll never have both together, and it's so infuriating. But no, it is a lot of good fun, like you say, to see people scrambling to get the item we need, and you come up.
It's great.
It is. You come up with some really, really funny ideas of things to take photos of, So I really do love that. But no, that's I was understanding that you were moving Telegraph to Facebook, so that's thanks for clearing that up. That's brilliant. So Telegram's going to stay there for the members, but you're going to have you're going to be part of the Facebook group where I suppose you don't have to be a member to join that. And is that for you to be able to show the pieces for the auction in advance, that kind of thing?
No, so it's literally pre-sales and stuff like that. But I'm going to be doing them on Telegram and there.
Yeah.
But it's a wider audience there, so it's just building something up. It's we're testing it at the moment just to make sure, it all fits in nicely and we're not stepping on each other's toes with getting the same items and all that. And once it's working really fine and we're all good, then I'll bring it out properly. But yeah, so for the moment it's just a little thing. We're just seeing how it goes. But Telegram, as I say, will always be there.
Fantastic, because it is a brilliant group. I'm just going to go back to the comments very quickly because we have some amazing comments and a few new people have joined us. We've now got Shiny Stackers here. Shiny, it's great to have you. Your Time Is Now is here as well. Fantastic to have you guys with us. True Legend has put an amazing little comment on there. He said he dived in the bin for a spare Frankfurter from the earlier snack. That's fantastic. I'm not on the whiskey myself. Your Time Is Now. I'm teetotal. And Cobra, have you got the Baileys tonight, or is it just Red Bull tonight?
No. I've got a whole big bar of drinks, and I rarely drink at home on my own. But I just enjoy it in the auction, so that's when you'll see me swinging out of that. I've got a bottle of water at the moment.
Oh, brilliant!
But it's good to see Your Time Is Now, Shiny Stacker, Silver Stag. So many people are involved, which is great.
Yeah, a lot of A-listers in the chat tonight. Always fantastic to have you all here. If anyone wants to know, I've got my Stack Collector mug. It's Stack Collector Yoda Best, and I've also got my Mango Monster right there. And is that Tyson chirping in and saying hello?
Yeah, it is. It is. The missus just come back from being out of the shop, so he heard her before she even walked in, and off he went.
Do we need to start guarding your silver? Because I know Mrs. Cobra has got sticky fingers when it comes to your stack, hasn't she?
That's become a massive joke between us. She walks in and she'll pretend she's nicking something. She never really nicks it, but it is a good laugh we have.
No, absolutely. I always enjoy when we see the Mrs. Cobra cameos on the auction. I think that's fantastic. I really do.
She's amazing.
Absolutely. Your Time Is Now says, sorry she missed the auction yesterday. Get paid next Friday, so it's a skinty moment. But
you never have to apologise for not being in the auction. We've all got lives and we're all very busy. She's also put, I'm silver rich but cash poor. Your Time Is Now. I'm in the same boat as you.
Me too. Me too. I'm constantly cash poor. I've said it all the way through the channel. I don't like banks and I don't like keeping my money in banks. And I'll be honest with you, it's not because I think the bank's going to fail. For some reason, I'm paranoid I'm going to be a victim of identity theft, and I'll wake up one morning to find out someone's cleared my bank account, which will probably never happen. But for that reason, I generally keep the bare minimum in my bank account as I can, and it does sometimes mean that I have to walk down to the bank just to put money in to pay for things online. But it's the way I like to do things. But I'm definitely a lot more PM rich than I am cash rich right now. But I think that's the way for a lot of stackers, isn't it? You know what I mean?
But I feel comfortable like that, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I feel comfortable that I've got my gold and silver.
Yeah.
And it's there when I need it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In my hands, it's there. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I like it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes that edge off, doesn't it? When you know you've got something there, it's fantastic. That it's because I don't know if you're like me. I can find that cash burns a little bit of a hole in my pocket at times. So I love the fact that it's something that if I really needed to, I could cash in. But I wouldn't be able to do it easily because I'd spend the money too easily.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I absolutely agree. Cyber Salman has put, thanks Cobra Stacker for your generous donation for our giveaway. A true gent and friend to the community. He 100% is both of those things. A proper gentleman and a scholar, which I can say with some confidence right there because I've met with good Cobra face to face, haven't we?
Yeah. We were, as quite a few people know, we met down in the London Coin Show, which wasn't the greatest show in the world, but definitely meeting you was great. But I urge everyone to come to Berlin in, what is it, January or February?
I think this one's the end of January, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. No,
for
absolutely.
sure. But thank you, Si, and it's an absolute pleasure, bro.
Yeah, 100%. I'm definitely going to be joining you next year. I was supposed to be last year, but
Yes.
I pulled out, which I've regretted ever since. So I will definitely be joining you last year, and it looks like there may be a good group of us this year. I know Coin Noob's thinking about going. McDonald Bullion,
Yeah.
sorry, McDonald Bullion saying he was thinking about going. I'm not sure whether they will or not, but I know you're definitely going to be going. Is CPM definitely going this year or?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah, he is.
And
He is. And the good thing is now that we've been there and we know how it works,
yeah.
where the stuff is set up roughly and all that, it's going to be a lot easier for us, and we can guide you guys as well, anyone who comes, so that we hit all the big places that we want to see, all the big mints. So I feel really good about this time. I think I know exactly how it works with money, what I need. Your time is now. It's in January of next year, end of January.
Yeah.
But last time I didn't take enough cash. And so Steve Davis was giving me cash and I was transferring to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is
So, yeah, once you got the knowledge, it's a lot better.
is there ever enough cash at a place like that, though, Cobra?
No.
exactly, 100%. Now, so speaking of CPM, I'm not sure if he's lurking in the comments. He's a bit of a lurker, old CPM, but we've both recently appeared on his new channel, haven't we? And I'd like to give him a little bit of a plug. So if anyone wasn't aware, I think, were you the first guest on the What podcast? I think you were, weren't you?
We actually recorded my life story probably about before he even had the What podcast. We recorded it ages ago, and he said, "Look, let me record this, and at some point in the future, I'll start getting other people, and I'll get a batch of you, and then we'll put the live story up." So we recorded that maybe, I don't know, 9 months ago, I'd say.
Oh, wow. No, I wasn't aware of
Yeah.
that. So, yeah, that's...
And he just held on to it till now. But he's got he's set up an amazing podcast now.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I had a lot of
called
fun.
The What Podcast.
Yeah, 100%. I had so much fun, and a lot of the stuff I spoke about. I know you've done similar things when you were younger, haven't you? I know you were went to military school, so I can imagine you were sat there nodding your head with diving. Yeah, I can imagine.
I was for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it is.
I was like, oh, damn, we did that. That was a similar type of thing, but yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, 100%. So if anybody's not had the chance to as of yet, I highly recommend going across and checking out the What podcast. You've got me on there, this Cobra on there, Future Investments has been on, Darth Precious Metals has been on as well. So I not only do I recommend going over and check it out as a viewer, but if you're ever lucky enough to be given the opportunity to join him as a guest, I can highly recommend that too. I had so much fun taking that stroll down memory lane and thinking about things that I'd maybe not thought about for so many years. Was it the same for you?
Yeah, for sure. Because as you get older, you forget about all the things that happened when you were young, or you don't think about them. And then when you go through your life story, it's like, wow, like even for myself to repeat everything I went through in my life, it's quite eye-opening to why I am the way I am now.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It makes you think, really there's a reason, like, I am now who I am. We are as some of our experiences, as it were. But yeah, definitely go across and check that out. BBA's done me a huge favour, and he's put a link in the chat. So yeah, if you haven't done so as of yet, definitely check that out. Prices. What is going off with silver and gold at the moment, Cobra?
Well, look, everyone will have an opinion on this. It's very volatile at the moment. Mm-hmm. Very volatile because the whole world is very volatile. Yeah. Fiat currency is volatile. American dollar, there's so much going on with that, which is putting it at risk. So gold and silver is very volatile. But I truly believe in the near future, within a few months, when we get another print out of America, which will probably be in September, or if a war breaks out majorly and America has to get involved, they're going to have to print.
Yeah.
When they go to print, we are going to see gold and silver explode.
Yeah.
And I would say more so gold. We'll see a major rise in gold and silver as well. But I have a lot of faith in gold. I know how it works and I understand how it works. With silver, I find it very volatile.
Yeah.
1 minute it's up 25, 26 pounds, let's say, and then next minute it's back down to 21.
Yeah.
But I do see some major movement within the next 3 months to 6 months in gold and silver on the upward.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think that's very well said, and I also agree that gold, if you're looking at it as an investor, not as a collector, as you know, a hardcore investor, I think gold's the one to get behind, isn't it? Like you say, it's a lot less volatile. You do see peaks and troughs. You see that with any kind of asset, but with gold, you see a much more steady uptrend over time than you do with silver. I mean, let's be honest, like it wasn't that long ago silver was worth next to nothing, was it? You know what I mean? What was it, 2011
Yeah,
around there or something? You know, and
yeah.
silver has bottomed out a couple of times, and you know when it happens in the past, there's always that worry that it could happen again in the future. I mean, personally, I think going forwards, I do think that silver will tend to go up over time, but you will have much bigger peaks and troughs. And I think, you know, the industrial uses for silver really help these days, you know, with the electric cars and solar panels and things like that. You know, there's more and more use for silver. So I think going forward, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad investment, but it's the premium when it comes to physical metals, isn't it? It's just going to take you longer to pay off that premium when it comes to silver than it would for gold. Don't you agree?
Well, I have two things on that. I mean, number one, you're absolutely right. Well, industry does affect silver in a major way. A bulk of silver is used in industry.
Yeah.
But as we're heading into a recession at the moment and things are so volatile and bad, you look at China, the amount of silver they've bought for industry at the moment has dropped massively.
Yeah.
Now, when that drops the price of silver.
Yeah, of course.
Again, as we say, is an investment type of thing as well. But that's a very small percentage of what silver's used for, as in private investment.
Yeah.
So that's why you've got more volatility, and I don't see it rising as much. I mean, I do think it will rise if we hit a war or when things go print for sure, but not as much.
No, I agree.
Gold, on the other hand, absolutely. I mean, I do see it at 2,500 to 3,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah. I think gold has the
Easily.
potential of shooting the moon, whereas silver, I don't think you're going to have that same potential. I do think it'll go, like you just said yourself, I do think it'll go up over time, but you're just not going to have those jumps like you can do with gold. You know, like you say, you know, if bad times happen, I can really see gold prices really starting to hit the roof a little bit. So yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, it has been very volatile across the board, not just for precious metals, but for the
Yes.
stock market as well. And yeah, it's
Bitcoin as well.
yeah, 100%. And it can be very difficult during these times if, you know, to new investors, you know, these things can happen, and the best thing you can do is you know, don't panic sell when it does happen.
Absolutely.
You know, that's when you're really going to lose out. If you hold on and it comes back up again, then you know you've not lost anything. You still own the same amount in ounces. You still own the same amount in stocks. You've just got to wait for that value to go back up. But yeah, don't panic sell. You know, just you know, if you have faith in your investment, you should be able to ride these things through. But it's been a very, very interesting couple of weeks when it comes to the price charts. And I know last week, over the last couple of weeks, because I've started putting the prices on the tracker now. I take these from the Royal Mint website, and they you know, the Royal silver and gold will change in value 24/7, but the Royal Mint only update it while the markets are open. So at the end of business on Friday, they will stay the same prices until Monday morning, which is why I use them on a Saturday. Yeah, so it's as you can see on the screen, we're down across the board for gold, silver, and platinum at the moment. There has been I've noticed, especially with my stocks, I noticed there's been a bit of a rebound recently. I lost nearly 10% of my total investment only half a week ago, and it's crawled back at 3 or 4% now. So hopefully it's going in the right direction. But then again, the other way I have to look at it, you know, it's over the last 6 months or so, it's shot up in value. I think I've gained like 14% in around 6 months. So you know, it can be difficult when you see it drop back down, but you know, when it goes up so quickly. Sorry, mate, what were you going to say?
I mean, you're exactly right. But, I mean, you say gold is down at the moment. It's at 1908, let's say, right? 1908. If you look at just six... Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say, that's only for the last week. So,
Yes. Yeah. But if you look at it from 6 months ago or even a year ago, we were trading silver at 1498.
Yes.
Between 1498 and
Yeah.
1650,
Yeah.
right? For
Absolutely.
quite a while. So now at 1908, if it drops down to 1885, 1850 or anything like that, to me that's
It's
not a
still good.
drop.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We are
Yeah.
still a lot higher. We've gone up and up and up. Charts and the markets and all that go up and down
Yeah.
constantly. So a little drop here and a little rise there is nothing to even be concerned about.
100%.
But if you look at it now, 1908, that's £300 more than less than a year ago.
Yeah. 100%.
Um, and it's a similar thing, like you say, with stocks, though we are expecting a massive crash in the stock market soon.
Yeah.
Massive
Yeah.
crash.
Yeah.
And that's also something that will push gold up.
Yeah, no, it absolutely will. You see that very regularly. If the stock market goes down, then the price of gold does tend to go up as well
Yeah.
with it. And that's exactly the point I was saying. When we've seen this drop recently, if you look 6 months ago, I'm still up from what I was 6 months ago. And
Yeah.
you're 100%
Yeah.
right in what you're saying. The prices, as I say, are down from this time last week, which is a drop in the ocean when you look at it over the last year or the last 5 years. So yeah, it's like you very rightly said there. Don't look at that last week and think, oh well, gold's not doing any good, because when you look at it, over the last 6 months, over the last year, like you very rightly said, we were dipping below £1,500 again. So that's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
25. That's I'm rounding up, but that's about a 25% increase, which is a fantastic increase over time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Um,
professional investors, they say they'll aim to make between 8 to 10% per year. So
yeah.
something getting towards 25%. It just shows, like we said earlier, that gold. I think you'll struggle to find a safer investment than gold, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people look at it as an investment, which is quite boring sometimes because it can stay at the same sort of rate for a year, up and down a little bit and all that. But to me, you're right. It is a safe investment for me.
Yeah.
With silver, you can see a drop of 20, 30% in one go. Even if you look back in history, over a 20-year period, it went from being £2 an ounce all the way up to 30, 40
Yeah.
pound an ounce. And then 20 years later, it was at £2 an ounce again.
Yeah.
But you don't get that with gold.
No,
You
yeah.
never see a drop right back down to those low levels. Yeah, you'll see £100 drop here, £150 drop, but that's nothing in comparison to what it is.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you there, mate. And it's I've said before on the channel, I don't think. Well, I'm pretty certain we're not going to see a correction in gold, and it's going to lose £500 of value. Those gains are going to. It's become the new normal, and I think it's quite safe to say at this point now that the £1,900 mark has become the new normal, and it's not going to be a huge correction. It's definitely not going to go back down to £1,500. So if there's anyone out there who's hoping to see that, unfortunately, I generally don't think that's going to happen. Like Cobra's said himself, I think definitely when we look at environmental aspects and economical aspects that are affecting it, I agree with you, mate. I think we're going to see it go up, and there's a good chance it's going to go up quite a bit, depending on what happens around the world, etc.
And there is so much volatility at the moment
Yeah.
with wars, with chaos, with social unrest, civil unrest. Sorry, my apologies. With the dollar, fiat currency going the way it's going, the BRIC nations. There is so much
Yeah.
affecting it all at the moment.
Yeah.
People around the world are losing the faith in the dollar, which is the main currency. Petrodollar has ended. There's so much we could go into on this subject,
Yeah.
which affects it all. And in the end, the safest safe haven is gold.
100%. When you see volatility in other aspects of the market, gold is normally the one that stands true, and the one that people look at during those times of volatility. And I personally think that's because it's been the number one secure of wealth for hundreds of years now.
Thousands.
If not thousands, definitely thousands of years. People have looked to secure their money in gold. So I think when these modern stocks and shares look to become volatile, I think that's it makes people look at the older, tried and trusted gold, and I think that's personally, I think that's one of the reasons why you see gold do so well during these volatile times.
Yeah, people run to gold.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
You know with gold that you know you're not going to lose too much money in it because there's so little gold in the world, isn't there? You know what I mean? There's like you'd think there's loads and loads. I once saw a video on, I don't know if you ever seen this. It was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about gold to somebody, and he was saying, you know, how few there is, and he had a diagram that showed the world's gold reserve, and you'd think, you know, you'd think that would be like 10 or 100 times that, but it is a very, very precious metal, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And I think I've seen that video, and maybe others as well, where they said if they spread the gold between every person, you'd be holding less than an ounce each.
Yeah,
You
100%.
know what I mean? Between every person on the planet.
Yeah.
Luke's asked us a question.
I was just going to say, yes. Where do you see the world in years from now? What? I mean, so we say in 10 years' time.
Oof. I think it's going to be very different from what we know now. I think political systems will change. I think AI will have a major influence on us as people with work, with everything else. I see a lot of people who haven't invested money and all that suffering quite a bit. I think there's going to be some major changes, and governments or elites will use that to bring in policies or different schemes, which we will act like we're thankful for because we don't know any better. I see a lot of civil unrest coming up, personally, and then you know, it'll all work out into a new system.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just look at what's going off at the moment. Riots in the UK. I mean, the last time we really had riots in the UK was the mining strikes. You know, it's not something that happens that often.
We had them in 2011 in Tottenham. We've had Black Lives Matter. So we have had things. It's not as much as France have.
No, yeah. I mean, to this scale though, like UK wide, I know in Tottenham there's been riots, or there's been localised riots, but I just can't think of anywhere where it's been like all across the UK. You know, it's it seems bad. It really does, and I really hope that things get resolved. But like you've said, I think things are going to get worse before they get better.
Absolutely right. I think there's a lot of problems. It's not just one subject. It's a lot of problems, but it's all being put into one subject now, and people are just fed up. And so you'll get a riot or you'll get a demonstration which goes wrong, and there'll be so many subjects in that group of people. You know, if you ask several of them, one will say it's immigration, one will say it's we're being taxed too much, one will say it's prices are going up, you know, homelessness. There's so many things now that people are fed up with. And that's what happens. That's when you get civil unrest.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And you're right. It can't be attributed to just one thing. I think, if anything, it'll be the piece of straw that broke the camel's back, because there's so many other issues that people are, have become more and more dissatisfied with over time. And I think it all goes back down to poor government, really, doesn't it? You know, if you've got this many people in the country, you know, are the government doing the right thing? You know, are they listening to the people? Are they making decisions on themselves without listening to the people? I know it's a very complicated matter. I'm not going to sit here.
It is, but there's a lot of greed and a lot of corruption in the government. And that feeds down to us and how we're treated. Do you know what I mean? So. You know, people are suffering. You know, when you get council taxes going up and up and up in price, fuel going up, this going up, tax on that, tax on this. You know, they're looking at every way to tax us. Oh, that drink has got sugar in it, tax it.
Yeah.
You want to drive your car somewhere, tax it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We pay enough in our jobs in tax.
Yes.
But then you start taking money from us every step of the way in everything we do. You don't give us the opportunity to save or to better ourselves, or, you know, get a decent amount of money to be comfortable. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. No, 100%. I mean, I absolutely agree with that. I think the amount that we pay in tax is ridiculous these days. You know, and you're right. You know, some of the things we're getting taxed on. I've never personally agreed with the sugar tax. I don't think that's. You think in history, you know, it makes me think of things like the window tax. You know, that happened hundreds of years ago.
Yes.
And you think, how can someone tax? That's ridiculous. How can a government tax?
I mean, it wasn't even hundreds of years ago, brother. It wasn't that long ago.
Exactly. You know. Yeah, 100%.
Can I stop you one second? Because I've just seen Stephen God's Money's in.
Yeah.
And it's his birthday today, bruv. So I wanted to ring him earlier and I didn't get a chance. So a very happy birthday to Stephen.
Yes, mate.
And he's a good friend. little bit mouthy now and again. Needs a slap because he's from up north and he cusses us Southerners. But I think the world of him. So
Well,
happy birthday, Steve.
I'm definitely on the chips and gravy side of the line myself, mate. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Stephen, mate, very, very happy birthday to you and many happy returns, my friend. He is a good guy, really, when it comes down
He
to
is
it.
top geezer.
If
Top
you
geezer.
torture the truth out of me, I like him. No, he's good. He's good. We'll keep the 50p chat to a minimum in honour of it being your birthday, Stephen, my good friend. But yeah,
And Jumping asked a very good question. He said, "Do we think that the government would ever take our gold and silver away?"
maybe.
Go on, I'll let you answer that one first, and then I'll put my 2 pence worth in.
There's precedence. There's 100% precedence where it's happened in the past. It hasn't happened in a long time. It happened around the World War, around the First World War, where there have been gold confiscations in the UK. So it's something that I would never say never on. But you got to think if things are already quite high intention, doing something like that really could lead to riots and things like that. So it's very difficult. I think it could happen. I think the likelihood is that it won't happen. How about yourself?
I agree. I agree with you. I think look, there's always a possibility. I think the possibility is a lot smaller than what it was,
Yeah.
and I don't know how they would police that nowadays that easily. I mean, there's a black market for everything.
Yeah.
There'd be a black market for that. How would they know exactly who's got what and all that? Yeah, it's a very small possibility, but no, I don't think that will happen.
No, I agree.
You're absolutely right. It would cause chaos.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't hand mine over.
No, I wouldn't.
I
You know,
absolutely wouldn't.
and I've said before, if it ever gets so bad to the point where I start joining the picket lines and I get arrested and I have to serve time for being a political prisoner, then I'm more than happy to do that. It gets to a point. I'm not trying to incite anything. Don't get me wrong. I think if people protest, it should be done peacefully and respectfully.
Agreed.
Yeah, and but if it ever got to something like them wanting to confiscate precious metals, I'd be up there with a picket. With my sign saying no to the confiscation, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think it would lead to a bit of unrest, and like you say, it's be so difficult to police, and the chaos it would cause. I don't think it would be worth it for the government in the long run, if I'm honest. But
No, and if you think the percentage in the UK of people that hold gold is really not that high. Now, I know we're in the community, and so we all talk about it all the time. We do our stuff. But I honestly don't believe the percentage in the UK holding gold and silver is as high as people may think.
no, exactly,
It's really not.
exactly, and that's why in the past it's when it has happened, it's more likely to happen because you don't have things like electronic stocks and shares that you can invest in. You don't have all these other things. When people wanted to save their money, it was pretty much gold or nothing. A lot of the time.
Well, Ray's just said it there. He said it would be more likely to seize digital assets and much easier. And he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
It would be a lot easier. I mean, all Coinbase and all that sort of stuff now have to declare what people are buying.
Yeah.
So unless you cold store it, and even then, there's a lot of know your customer with all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a lot easier to do it that way.
Even with the cold storage, there's still that paper trail of the initial purchase of whatever it was. Say you got a cold wallet, you've had to buy those cryptos somewhere. So there's there's still a trail that they can go down. And I definitely agree. It would be more in their interest to seize digital assets because, like you say, just for the sheer number of people who invest in stocks and shares as opposed to precious metals, there's just a lot more people doing the digital assets nowadays than physical gold, which is a shame in one way, but at least we're in the know in the community, and it's always good to have that bit of gold. I always think it's good to be diversified, but not over diversified. Yeah. When I know you do gold and silver, of course, as we all know, and you spoke about it quite vocally on the channel that you're a bit of a fan of Bitcoin as well. Is there anything else aside that you look to invest in at all?
No, I've got a couple of properties as well, which is great. That's always a thing that I've never got into stocks and shares.
Yeah.
I'm a bit dubious about it, and that's only because of lack of knowledge, not for any other reason.
Yeah.
I do believe stocks and shares is more gambling. All of it's gambling to a certain extent, but it's more gambling. but it's not something that appeals to me so much. And I know, if you know how to read the charts and do things properly, you can make a lot of money out of stocks and shares as well.
Yeah.
But I think, as someone said in the comments as well, that old saying of if you can't hold it, you don't own it. Yep, I agree to a certain extent with that. Oziak is absolutely right. There's peer-to-peer networking for crypto, and you can get it onto cold storage in that. But a lot of times, if you want to cash that money in, you've got to go to Coinbase or somewhere else to cash that money in, and that's where it becomes not anonymous anymore.
Yeah.
So there's good and bad in everything if you know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, I think research it first before you start doing it. And again, that's why I haven't gone into stocks and shares.
No, 100%. I think that's fantastic what you just said there. The interesting about stocks and shares is there's multiple ways to invest in stocks and shares. Some are a lot more of a gamble than others. If you look at day trading, a lot of money is lost in day trading. A lot can be made in day trading, but a lot can be lost as well.
Yeah.
I don't do that kind of trading. I invest into the S&P 500, and
which is safer.
Yeah,
a
lot safer. It's much more akin to what you're doing with the Bitcoin than using leverage and CFDs and that kind of thing. So yeah, 100% agree with you on that one. I always find it's very, very interesting. I definitely always say there's no right or wrong way to invest. Do what you feel comfortable and most about, because I've said it on the channel many times. There's a million ways to make money, and no one way is better than the other. It's just what works for the individual.
For you,
Absolutely, 100%. So yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the S&P 500, as I say, but other than that, nowadays I don't do a lot on the stock market. I used to do more. I used to do short-term invest in companies like Amazon and Johnson & Johnson's, that kind of thing. But I tend to put it more in the S&P 500, because although it may not be as high yielding, I know you've got that safety to it. It's a lot less likely to absolutely plummet and crash. Now, like you've said yourself, mate, there's always that possibility. I think the statistic is 75% of people who invest in the stock market end up losing money. So yeah, you're 100% right. It's definitely something that you need to do your research in. I mean, I researched it for a couple of years before I started putting money into it, because I was probably a bit similar to you. I thought of the stock market, and you hear these stories of people losing everything instantly, just like that. And I was very wary of the stock market before I looked into it. But I want to touch on something you've just said there, which is the old if you don't own it, you don't. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. I don't necessarily tie into that. I think it can, it can. You're reducing your chances of making money by looking at things that way. I always, I buy gold and silver in physical. I prefer to buy the physical gold and silver. But when I own a stock or a share, I own that stock or a share, and I know people have said to me in the past that there's threats like the brokerage going bankrupt and losing everything that way. But the good brokerage will be backed by insurance schemes in case that kind of thing happens. One thing I always say is there's always a risk. Like when you're looking at electrical, digital assets, yes, there's a risk that the broker can go bankrupt. But if you're holding physical precious metals, there's a risk of someone breaking into your house and taking them as well. So there's always some sort of risk, and the best thing you can do to mitigate against those risks is to have the appropriate insurance in place. You'd have your contents insurance and have your gold covered under your contents policy, so if anyone did steal it, then you'd look to your insurance company to pay you out. And it's kind of similar with digital stocks and shares. So I understand when people say if you don't hold it, you don't own it. I get what they mean, but I like to think the stocks and shares I own, they are mine, and I can cash them out at any point, and I have made some decent money off it. So it's something, it's just something to be wary of and think about, isn't it?
I agree to a certain extent, but there's also parts that I don't agree with. For instance, they say in your bank accounts you're insured up to 85,000.
Yeah.
Right. Number one, you need to know which bank accounts are linked to which bank accounts, because certain banks are linked, and you're only insured 85,000 between that group once. Secondly, the insurance companies have admitted that if anything bad happened, if a few banks went down, they don't have enough money to pay everyone out. And therefore, you'll be opted into the bank, which means they will give you, and this is in the contracts you sign, they will give you shares of the bank in replacement for your money. Well, who wants shares of a bank which has just crashed or is about to close down?
Yeah.
So they can literally take your money from you. So these insurances, half the time, aren't worth the paper they're written on, because the insurance companies could not cover a major problem.
No, and that's with banks
in those places.
Absolutely, and that's absolutely correct with banks. I mean, I was talking about brokerage and the insurance services they have in case a broker run down, which is a little different. But I mean, that translates to your physical metals there, because exactly the same. Contents insurers have policy limits on their policy. There's only certain amounts that they will pay up to. So you could have the same kind of issues with physical gold and silver as well as with bank accounts.
But that's down to you about where you keep it. You don't have to keep it all in your house.
No, you don't. But what if the bank gets robbed?
You have control over it. That's the point.
No, exactly. But you also have control over digital assets. I can cash out at any time I want. It's and to me it's pretty much the same. There's always a risk of a third party becoming involved. You can't say that there's no risk of someone breaking into your house and taking all your gold and money.
No, of course not. Of course not. I agree.
And that's the only point I'm making. That there's a risk element either way. I'm not saying that it's you're more at risk.
Look at Stephen fight.
Not at all. Well, I don't think me and Cobra will ever fight. Might disagree on things, but
yeah.
It's
But as Ray said, he goes, you mitigate your own risk.
Yeah.
If things got really bad, digital assets would be worthless. No way could insurance companies pay you out, and that's right. And the other thing with digital, what's the big thing that's going on at the moment between countries like Russia and England and America? Cyber attacks.
Yeah, 100%.
So if a cyber attack happens, you know what I mean, and the internet went down, again, you're in that situation, aren't you, where insurance companies can't pay out that sort of money. Imagine if all the internet went down.
Yeah, no, 100%. I understand that. All I'm saying is, there's, as much as that is a risk, there's still, imagine if you was out for the day or you went on holiday and you came back and someone broke into your house and they've taken everything you own. There's always that risk. And working in insurance, I know that, break-ins are one of the highest causes of loss in the UK. It's still very, things like fires, which 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there was a big chance of fires because electrical items weren't as good. You could have things shorting out, and back then when I was growing up, and I'm sure it's same, a little bit older than me, you'd be told that you always had to turn your plugs off, etc. The risk of things like house fires has bottomed out these days. It's a rarity. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it is a rarity because you've got things like modern day circuit breakers and things like that which will stop it from happening. There's things like floods that can cause huge amounts of damage. They're in localised areas. If you're not in a floodplain, then it's not really something to worry about. But theft, and break-ins is never. There's always going to be people out there who want to take what you've got, and there's always going to be that kind of risk. And that's just the way I look at it when it comes down to if you don't hold it, you don't own it. I just think same as I say, but the chances of the brokerage going down. If you look at a good brokerage now, obviously if you go for a brand new brokerage who's just starting up, there's much more of a risk of them maybe going bankrupt and closing down, or as opposed to someone like Trading 212, who they're a very well set up, very well established brokerage. That's taking aside cyber attacks. I think cyber attacks are definitely something that are getting more and more of a risk these days. It's like I said at the beginning of the chat myself, one of the reasons I don't keep money in my account is identity theft. And that's a form of cyber attack, isn't it? You know what I mean? When someone's pretending to be you to get your digital money out of the bank account, they're not going and holding a bank up. Most of the times nowadays it'll be a transfer from your account into theirs, and cyber attacks are happening all the time. It wasn't that long ago when we had the Russian attacks, didn't we? I know when I was working in.
There was something very recent,
Yeah.
very, very recent, literally a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
where people were panicking because things went down.
Yeah. That was with
And
chaps,
there may
wasn't
be
it?
tests going on, and yeah, there may be tests that they do as well to see how we'd react and all that sort of stuff. But if you find that your internet, your phone, and everything goes at once, then you need to be ready for something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, again, that's where I say, it's always good to diversify and have something there that you can fall back on in case that happens. It's just, all I'm saying is, I don't look at it as a hard no. And I've been investing for a few years now, and nothing's happened as of yet. And touch wood, hopefully, it should be fine going forward. But you're right. I mean, and that's what I was trying to say from the beginning. It doesn't matter what investment you have. There's always some sort of risk that you could lose out on there, whether it's break-ins, whether it's cyber attacks. There's always a third-party risk to you. But yeah, I personally, I'm more than happy to own stocks and shares, and
Yeah.
It's but like we said previously, it goes down to the individual. If you don't feel comfortable doing
Exactly.
it, don't feel like you should be pressured into it. But 100%.
It's like Jumping's just said, Cobra, you don't have any gold on show, just silver. Yeah, that's because I went on holiday and I moved all my gold out of the house.
Yeah.
And I've got to go and pick it up. So that's what I mean. It's up to you to take care of what you do with it when you're on holiday and stuff like that to mitigate those circumstances.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if you have, if you've got somewhere where a trusted place you can leave it while you're away, that's fantastic. I mean, obviously, not everyone would have that luxury, but it is down to the individual to ensure that they're doing everything they can to mitigate their losses. 100%, mate. I agree with that completely. But I mean, hopefully things will start getting better and the world economy will start to stabilise a little bit. I can't see it happening, but we can always hope for the best, can't we?
Over time.
Oh no, I think it will get better over time. I think it's it's a bit like what CPN's mentioned before when he's been in the chat. You look at things like the fourth turning, and I definitely tie into the fourth turning. I think there's evidence of that over time if you look at what's happened over the last few decades, and I think after things get a little bit harder, then it'll start to hopefully make things a little bit easier after that. I think things like wars, especially wars in Europe, I think it's just a crazy time that we experience a serious war in Europe, such as the Russian-Ukraine war, when really there hasn't been any wars in mainland Europe. I know there's been conflicts that European countries have been involved in, but there's not been an actual full-on war in mainland Europe since the Second World War, has there?
Yeah, that's right. But as I say, bro, it's like a roller coaster with your personal life, with the world, economy and wars and all that sort of stuff. 1 minute we're good, everything's going well, and then bang, it all goes down, and there's problems and this and that, and then slowly we pick up again, and we, and it's a circle. It just keeps going, and that's why you've got to sort of learn to live with that and adjust your life appropriately to the times and situations that are happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going to Bristol Barnacle's comment there, he said the BBC got hacked on a live TV show back in the day. Can you remember the Max Headroom hack? Can you remember that?
I remember Max Headroom.
Yeah, no, it was
but I didn't know there was a hack of it.
Yeah, it was a guy dressed up as Max Headroom, and they took down the TV station, and he's there with he's been spanked by somebody, and it's a proper parody of Max Headroom. But there's a lot of videos online. It's very, very funny, and we never found out who did it either, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show, attacks. It's not a new thing. It's getting a lot more positive, a lot more regular these days. But
it's an easy way to bring down a country.
Yeah. 100%.
Is a cyber attack. You break it down with a cyber attack, and then you attack.
Yeah.
And you've weakened that country substantially. If they can't use computers and all that lot to track aeroplanes, to see what's coming, see what attacks are coming.
Yeah.
Your society is already fighting amongst itself because cyber attacks have taken their money away in banks, and there's riots.
Yeah.
You can walk into that country.
Absolutely. I mean, I've said it before. We're so reliant on the internet these days that if someone could take the internet down, it would basically bring the country to a standstill for a brief period of time. We could go back to using older techniques, but right now, pretty much every single system that runs the country is heavily dependent on the internet, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Luke made a very good point there. He goes, Iran or somewhere in the Middle East is the next place to kick off. They're moving loads of assets over to there in the last few weeks. Luke, Iran, and also Lebanon.
Hmm.
Um, Lebanon, loads of the Western world are getting their people out of Lebanon at the moment. So there's a lot of things going on at the moment, and we're going to see some big things soon.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And to Oziak, yes, I have. Are you aware of the Flipper Zero devices?
No, I'm not. I'm
They're
not.
basically they're kind of like an RFID reader, and you can
Right.
you can download information with them, and you can use them to break into cars with electronic locks
Hmm.
and all kinds of things. And they're quite easy to pick up on the internet as well. And
Yes, yes, yes. I didn't realise they were called that,
yeah,
but
well, there's other
Range
versions.
Rover are having major problems with that at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. But, I mean, there's other versions of it. Flipper Zero is individual product, but there's other things that do the same
Right.
thing as well, of course.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, it goes to show, when we have advancements in technology, it creates all new vulnerabilities, doesn't it, which weren't there before that. But yeah, I mean, AI. What kind of impact can you see AI having on society over the next decade or so?
Massive, 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 massive.
Yeah,
Well, not even the next decade. In the next 2 years,
yeah,
80% of jobs, they say, will be taken by AI.
yeah,
Now, in the same token, it will create other jobs, but only for people who are fluent in the language of AI,
yeah.
or can work in that industry. So, if you can work in that industry, you may get jobs. But it is going to take over a hell of a lot of jobs in the UK,
Yeah.
well, all over the world, really. So AI has got benefits, massive benefits, but also major threats to society. And this is why they have these universal incomes they're talking about and stuff like that, because they know a lot of people are going to be out of work and you have to pay them a basic income to
Yeah,
survive. But I see that all linking in with CBDCs and different controls and different things like that. Not necessarily all negative on CBDCs. There are negatives, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's perfect, but that's how I see things going. AI is going to affect a lot, which is going to affect a lot of other things, and so certain things will be brought in so that society can continue.
yeah,
Um, but I think people talk about, yeah, well, wouldn't it be great? You can concentrate on being creative and having an amazing life without having to work and all that. No, I think you underestimate the mental side of it, of people not having nothing to do as such, and how mentally it will break them down. And also remember, if you've got nothing to do, you're not linking up with people, you're not communicating with people, mentally, it's going to ruin you. So I see a lot of problems coming with all those sort of
just look at
stuff.
the lockdowns. Look at the lockdowns, the
Yeah,
mental
yeah, yeah,
impact that had on a
yeah,
vast amount of people.
absolutely.
You're 100% right there. Yeah, I agree with you that work is important for building the character. It gives you a feeling of achievement. It gives you a purpose in life, and I think it's really popular, really important. And personally, I would rather stay that way than look into going down the AI route and have everything done with AI. When I've spoke about UBI before, universal basic income, it's I just don't see an alternative when you've lost all that amount of jobs to AI. What are people going to be able to live on if all those jobs are gone? I know, like you very rightly said, people who can get involved in the development of AI, etc. There probably be jobs for them there. But what happens to the people that rely on, those more blue collar jobs to survive? Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is what I'm saying. They've experimented in several towns throughout the UK
Mhm.
with this universal income, where basically you're given £2,000 a month. Let's say that's not the
Yeah,
exact
yeah,
figure,
yeah.
but two
Hypothetically,
thousand
yeah.
pound a month. You don't have to work. You don't have to do nothing. You are given that to survive
Mm.
with. And Luke has made a point. He said they can't lose 80% of taxes to lose eighty
No.
percent of jobs, of our jobs. But as I say, Luke, losing 80% of present jobs doesn't mean that we're going to lose 80% of the workforce. It means that the jobs will move into other areas where people like myself, maybe, who aren't so literate with those areas, wouldn't be able to work in those
Yeah.
areas. But also, they can tax companies higher who aren't employing people or are using a load of AI stuff to do their jobs, because they'll be earning income without having to pay out wages.
Yeah.
So they'll find a way to get those taxes in. Um, But yeah, I just think there's changes
Yeah.
coming. There is changes coming.
Yeah, I think one way they can look to increase those taxes is if you've got businesses that are, everything's being run by AI and they're not paying wages to any staff base, they'll look to tax for businesses. They'll find a way. Yeah,
Absolutely.
they'll find a way to
Yeah.
get that tax money in
Absolutely.
100%. And
Yeah.
and same as I say, my worry is that it's just going to be so difficult for people to, like you suggested yourself, for a lot of people, and also that's only for a period of time, because yes, you'll have people who are looking to develop AI, but I truly believe, having seen what I've seen over the last couple of years, that eventually it'll get to a place where it's AI developing AI, and AI's it might get to a point, and this it just goes to show how much of a powerful tool AI is, that we sat here having this conversation, that it looks as though the entire way the world works is going to change it, like you say, over 2 years, over 5 years, over 10 years, etc. And I think it's going to change massively over 2 years, like you said, but it will continue to change more and
Of
more.
course.
So it's mind-boggling the way it's going to go. I mean, I was watching, I know I've mentioned this channel on my channel a few times. I enjoy watching it. It's called the Wi-Files, and they did one recently which was basically based on AI and having how that would take control, and it, one thing that rang true to me is algorithms, and how really detailed algorithms are becoming, and how much your phone or your PC can predict about you just based
Yes.
on actions you take. So the kind of things that you search, the kind of language you use, it's like it's building up this entire portfolio of who you are as a person, and I think it's very interesting. I can't wait to see how it's going to be as a matter of interest. But I also think like you brought up yourself there, there's going to be a lot of jobs that haven't been done. That are being done by people right now that won't be done by people, and I think it makes you think to times like like this kind of the 70s and the 80s, where that was a kind of time in history where a lot of jobs which were done by people started being mass produced by machinery. Technology had got to a point where instead of having to need a person to do this job, you're now having a machine take them off, and you look at
The Industrial Revolution, people were very worried about that time.
Yeah.
Look, we have to advance. We will advance in different technologies, and we will survive it. But there will be difficulties in the transition. Eventually, society, we're the older guys, or I am anyway, me, Stephen, and all that.
Kids Club.
Say, we're the old kids.
Yeah.
The old kids club, exactly. We're the older guys. So for us, as we see this coming in, it could affect us slightly. For the middle agers like yourself, I mean, look, jobs like yours at the moment, I think, are pretty safe.
Well, you say that. Let me interrupt you there, because I saw this thing, mate, honestly, and it made me sit there a gasp. And it's this machine, and it drives up to a tree, and in 2 seconds flat, it cuts the tree, strips it, turns it into timber. And I'm looking at it and thinking, well, that's my job gone. Please don't develop too many of those, because my word, I can't keep away. It's got a grabbing arm. It grabs a tree.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's seen it in the chat, but it grabs the tree, cuts it with a chainsaw, and it pulls the tree through itself, strips all the branches, and when I saw that,
I have seen that. I mean, they're clear forests with those.
Oh,
machines.
God, yeah.
Those machines have been there quite a while.
They have. Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to have that in the local area where you're going to someone's house and clipping their bushes and trees and bits and bits.
Yeah, true.
That's more industrial. But yes, you're right. They can always develop things to do all sorts of things. But I think, again, your age will be affected a little bit, but not major.
Yeah.
It's the younger people now that will have to learn that industry of AI to really work in certain fields and certain things and all that lot. So,
Yeah, that's it. No, 100%. And I one thing you've said there I'd like to pick on, I completely agree with, is that what kind of sucks for us a little bit is that we're alive during that transition period, which is going to be difficult. Going from one way to the other, I think definitely is going to be very difficult. I think once we've got there and it's worked itself out, I think it can be great going forward. But it's kind of tough to be the generation that goes through it, and like you say, the younger generation, it's going to be even more interesting for them.
Big changes. Yeah,
100%. Because you got to think about it. If you take that second step back and think about what life was like when we were growing up. I mean, I know you're a bit older than me, you're about 10 years older than me, aren't you? So, it would have been even different still for you. But like my earliest memories are from the 80s, and a family didn't really have anything, did you? You maybe had one TV. No, a lot of people, this may not be true, but for a lot of the population, we were still the one TV in the living room. We probably didn't have TVs in the bedroom, that kind of thing. No internet, you had your house phone, no mobiles. And if you actually think how different the world is right now to what it was, just when we were growing up, it's such.
Bro, if you tell kids now that we had no internet, they'll be shocked. And I'm talking about kids, 10 years old, 15 years old. They were like, what? There was a time there was no internet. They wouldn't even believe that. Do you know what I mean? No internet. If we had a TV, because we didn't in the beginning, but when we got TV, there was only 2 channels on it.
Yeah.
There was no Sky or nothing like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were big, massive boxes. They're now thin as you like. Do you know what I mean? So many changes. I mean, I remember video and what was it called? Betamax and all that sort of stuff. Pre that. So you literally had 2 channels. You had no videos, DVDs, nothing like that. So massive changes. And we always adjust, and people will adjust to the new thing. But there'll be some people in the middle of the transition which it'll affect a bit harder. Oh, it's gone Betamax. Wow.
100%. No, definitely.
Showing my age now.
100%. But I think everything you said is very valid, though, mate. I really do think it is, and I absolutely agree with that. And this is what I mean. I'm very interested to see what the world's going to look like in 10 years' time. I really am.
Very.
Yeah, I truly do believe that, which puts us back onto our precious metals and making sure you're securing that future going down the line, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
100%. But yeah. If anybody's got any questions you want to ask in the chat, feel free to do so. I know people have been popping a few things in the chat as we go. Cobra comes on, he gets me so enthralled in what he talks about.
Well, on a lighter note then, taking it on a lighter note, I think Jumping mentioned all the Marvel cards at the back of the DC collecting cards. But I put them out for a reason, because I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, spill the beans, buddy.
I think it's on August the 13th. So anyone who's seen my videos will know the Marvel and the DC. I like the old playing cards, the Pokemon and all that, which became collectible and then shot through the roof with prices on the rare ones and all that. Well, New Zealand Mint released these. It started with Star Wars, then Marvel, then DC. And basically you get a box with 2 cards in it. The common ones are always green. You always get a green one. And then you get a rare one. Yeah. And some of the rare ones are like, you'll get 1 card in 10 in the world. Do you know what I mean? Or 1 card in 20 in the world. And the costs of them are like 1,000, 2,000. And you could get a quarter gold, which I think that's the one which is 1 in 10. And they go for 10 grand. Well, the next set is coming out, and it's Harry Potter. And I'm really excited. I did a live on the Marvel unboxing and the DC unboxing where I literally unboxed them and we saw what new ones are coming out, what I got rare wise and all that. But I've ordered 35 boxes of them.
Oh, wow.
So, I'm really excited. I'll do a live and I'll open 15.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably sell the other 20. But I'm really excited. It's a great thing. Really great.
Oh, they are. And I've been there for your previous lives, and it's so fantastic, because it's like you don't know what's going to come next. Obviously we want to see you get the gold and bring out one of those ultra rare items, but one of the things I loved about it, and it's going to be the same for Harry Potter, because I'm a fan of Harry Potter. I was very young when the Harry Potter books came out, and I grew up being a big fan of them, but I love trying to guess who it is as soon as you pull the card out. You know, which DC character is that, and which Marvel character is that. So I definitely think. It's going to be a lot of fun. The 15 that you open, are you going to keep them for yourself, or will you?
Yeah. So I started a bit late. I missed out on the Star Wars, which was the first one. I may go and backtrack and buy the green set in the Star Wars, so that I got that for every one. But I bought the DC, I bought the Marvel, and I've collected all the 10 greens and all the 10 oranges of both.
Yeah.
So the green is the most common, and then the orange is slightly rarer, and then I think there's blue and red and purple, and then the gold.
Yeah.
And I will always try and get the green and the orange in both.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. No, and
Stephen's taking the piss again, going Harry Potter worse than bloody Star Wars. Ian agrees with him. It's what? It's not even about that. It's Harry Potter, Ian. It's this whole collecting thing of it. I just love it, and I know I might seem a bit weird with it, but I do. I think they're brilliant.
Oh yeah, and
very, very big in America.
Yeah, and who cares? I mean, if you enjoy doing it, mate, that's what it's all about. It's like the 50p's, I enjoy collecting them. I've always enjoyed collecting them. I understand that they're not for everybody, and some people aren't bothered at all. But if it brings you joy, then go for it. Is what I say. Stephen put a very interesting question in the comments. He said, do you think that CFAX and Oracle was the birth of the internet in the UK anyway?
Oh my God. CFAX and Oracle. I mean, there'll be people in this chat who won't even know what that is. CFAX, I think CFAX was BBC One and ITV had Oracle. And it was like you could press a red button or a button on your control, and it would bring up this sheet, and you'd put in a page number, and it'd give you information about what's on TV or whatever else, or booking holidays and all that. And I think he's right. I think in a little bit of a way, that was a very basic version of the internet.
It was like a precursor.
Very basic.
Yeah, it was like a precursor to the internet, wasn't it? In a way.
Yeah. But I mean, who said that?
Stephen.
Oh, mate, I can't believe he said it. I forgot about CFAX and Oracle. I mean, I really forgot about it. But yeah, Ozzy said CFAX for the weather and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, all little information like that, but absolutely amazing to even hear those words again. I totally 100%.
For me, CFAX, it was Cinema Times, and there was a game on there called Bamboozled as well. I used to love to play.
I remember that. Yeah.
No, they were the two main reasons I went in for CFAX. CFAX used to annoy the hell out of me because CFAX became your television at a certain time in the morning, didn't it? Can you remember that?
Yes, and it would just flick through pages.
That's all we'd show. Like literally, the programming would have ended for the night, and then those few hours, like early hours of the morning till it started again, it just go through CFAX pages, and it's like, come on, this is so boring. I was only a kid, you know what I mean? I didn't want to see pages and pages of text. I wanted to see early morning cartoons at the time. And
Scott Silver's just said teletext to pick holidays.
Yes, I remember
that as well.
Teletext for holidays, 100%. But it's a great question, Stephen, and very valid. I remember Bamboozled, and that was the ITV version, TSC. Yeah, I thought Bamboozled was Channel 4, but I could be wrong. It was so long ago. You're probably right there, Richie. But
we're going down memory lane. Shiny Stackers, but remember typewriters.
Oh yeah,
I do.
Yeah. I've still got an electric typewriter.
Oh, forget electric, bruv. Go before electric.
I know. They were the best. They were the best. Yeah, and a lot of writers still use typewriters to this day because they prefer the feel of the buttons, and another reason they use typewriters today is because it makes them a lot more careful what they do, because there's no delete button on a typewriter once you've done it.
No, but there was Tipex.
There was Tipex, but that was your only option. You know what I mean? And when you're writing out a draft for a novel or something, you can't put it in with Tipex on all over the page, can you? So I do know that a lot of writers to this day still like their typewriters. I think the electric. I've got an IBM electric typewriter. It still works, and it's still inking the ribbon. And I think that's worth a bob or two nowadays. I might have to sell it and buy some gold with it.
Look, Scott Silver still says, someone here no doubt remember chalk and slate.
Oh,
Yeah,
of
I do,
course, yeah,
Scott.
100%.
I do.
100%.
2p for a phone call.
Yeah, 2p for a phone call. Oh, it's 10p for a phone
Yeah, in the
call.
phone
Yeah,
box.
no, 10p
Yeah.
for me in my days, I'm afraid. But
You're a bit younger than
bit late.
us.
Yeah, I came around a little bit later, but there's still a phone box on the corner of every single street. There really was, wasn't
And,
there? I mean, mobile phones is what's ended that, haven't they? Everyone's got a mobile, isn't it?
oh, yeah, cool.
No need for payphones nowadays. I love what we've done with the. Have you seen what we've done with the old red payphones, where they turn them into like a book swap depository, and it's like a scheme where they're full of books, and you can go in and you can just take a book, borrow it, and then take it back or leave a book there. And I think that's a lot of fun because I still love seeing the old red telephone boxes every now and again when you're in the countryside.
Yeah. You see them in the garden sometimes. Some
Yes,
people buy them and
yes,
put them in their garden with a thing. And I smile when I see them. I really do.
yeah.
Yeah, Wolf Stacken's gone. Question for Cobra: Mike Tyson or Cassius Clay? Well,
Tyson.
I remember is Cassius Clay. No, as in Cassius Clay is in.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali.
Oh, hey,
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad
Yeah.
Ali. That's it. Mike Tyson or Cassius Clay? I would say honestly, Mike Tyson.
You've got
Pure
you've
animal.
got to remember
Pure animal
it's
race.
different times, you know. And Cassius Clay
It
said this
is.
himself about greats that came around before him. You know, it's different times, and if you look at sports in general, you'll always find that modern athletes generally tend to be better than older athletes, and a lot of that comes down to technology. I know that's not so much the case in boxing, but I have to agree with you, mate. I think if both of them went in the ring in their prime, I think Tyson would
Yeah,
have taken it, and I
I do. He had pure raw lion energy. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? He just got in there and it was do or die type of thing. Tyson for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. He was a manimal,
Yeah,
as I like to
Shiny
say.
says Tyson prime animal.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
was. He was
100% right.
such a pity. His demise was such a pity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I generally cannot wait to see him knock Jake Paul around the ring this November if it's still on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I am a
yeah.
little worried it's
Sure.
not going to happen because obviously it was supposed to happen in July and it's been pushed back to November. But I
Yeah.
understand it. It's got look at the end of the day. How old's Mike Tyson now? Is in his late 50s, isn't he?
Yeah, it must be. He must
Yeah.
be. I mean, I'm 53. He's older than me,
So
so
yeah, so
yeah.
you know, if he has got any medical concerns like that, he is doing the right thing to pull out of it, especially with head injuries and things like that. Because it's all well and good us wanting to watch the match, but I wouldn't want him to take a blow that put him out, which is which
No, for sure,
yeah,
for sure, for
and we've
sure. I've got a lot of respect for the geezer. Um, we've all done things in our lives that who knows what's true, what ain't. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to go into that. But as a fighter, rated the guy massively. I mean, that was my time of watching boxing majorly. To be very honest, I haven't kept up with it with modern day boxers, but I don't feel that there's that same
no,
element of
yeah,
boxers
yeah.
nowadays as there was when I was
There is.
watching.
I agree.
I may be
I
wrong.
agree 100%. I think that's 100% true. If you look at if you look at maybe 30 years ago, when
Yeah.
Tyson was really in his prime, you had some fantastic
Oh, mate.
fighters, and I don't see as many really great names coming up these days as perhaps there once was, and maybe that's to
Yeah.
do with the way the sport's managed these days, and the fights that are booked these days. But yeah, I think that was one of the glory days of boxing back when Mike Tyson.
Yeah, jumping's put Tyson Fury or Mike Tyson. Mike
Oh,
Tyson all day
there's not
long.
even a question there.
And again, I like Tyson Fury. I like his
Yeah,
character as well. Mike Tyson would
yeah,
obliterate,
yeah, yeah.
obliterate.
Without
Tyson
yeah.
Fury wouldn't stand a
No,
chance.
I 100% agree with that. I don't think there's any chance Tyson Fury would stand up against Mike Tyson in his heyday, at least. I mean,
No.
I look at him now and I look at his training regime, and he's still a guy that I would run away from. No, no questions asked. If that guy came at me, you'd not see me for dust, because he's still big, he's still strong, he's still fast. I think
Yeah.
for his age as well, and not just for his age, regardless of his age, he still looks like a strong man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Miss Kiwi's just put.
Wolfstack has made me
Oh,
laugh. He put another question for Cobra. You or Tom Cruise? What, me against Tom Cruise? No, Tom
is a
Cruise?
midget.
What's Tom
Is a
Cruise?
little midget. Cobra would throw him across the
I
room.
would kill Tom
He'd throw
Cruise.
him across the
You know
room,
what I
mate.
mean?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. You've been watching too many films with Tom Cruise, like Mission Impossible or something, and think he can really do all that. He can't, Wolfie. You really can't. You know
I
what
love
I
it.
mean?
No, I love it.
Bruce Lee or Tyson? Now that's a very interesting
Oh,
one.
you see, the thing is, though, that is interesting, but it's
Different
yeah,
styles.
very different styles. Now, if Tyson was able to get one on Bruce Lee, it'd end him. He would, but Bruce Lee's got that speed on his side, and
But it's not only that. Bruce Lee's style can use his feet.
yeah.
You know, his arms, his
But
elbows,
what are you
everything.
saying though?
Whereas Tyson
Yeah,
couldn't.
but are you saying that Bruce Lee has got boxing? Because if it's a boxing match, it's Tyson every day. If
Oh
Bruce Lee
yeah,
gets,
I
yeah,
agree.
if it's a no holds barred cage match where he can use his hands and his legs, then Bruce Lee's got a much better chance to
Yeah,
avoid
yeah,
him,
yeah.
wear him down, and
It's an awkward
it
one though,
is,
really,
it
isn't it? Because
really is.
you've got massive weight difference, and then a massive style difference. So yeah, it depends on what context. That's a harder one to do when you're comparing boxer against boxer. It's a lot
Yes,
easier to
yeah,
say. Um, but when you're comparing, I mean, Bruce Lee was brilliant at many different arts. It weren't just
yeah.
one. Um, you know, so yeah, very very hard to say on that one. I think
It is
definitely.
very difficult, but I'm fairly confident in saying if we said it was a Queensbury rules boxing match, I think Tyson would have it. But
Yeah, again though, you've got to look at speed.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I agree with you on pure strength and brute power, but the speed of Bruce Lee as well was phenomenal.
it was,
Absolutely phenomenal. And he knew how to use his chi into a punch, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, who was it? Shiny said in there about his 1 inch punch. It was
it was
impressive.
incredible
Very
his one inch
impressive. So
punch.
I don't know. It's a very, very, very
And he
hard
could
one.
kick. He
Very
could kick
hard
about
one.
15 foot in the air as well. Have you seen him when he's kicking light bulbs
Hmm.
out? And it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
incredible. It really was. Miss Q.
He was a real
He
athlete, wasn't
was. No, he truly was. Both of them, though. Both from true athletes, and I've got
he? Yeah,
a lot,
absolutely.
yeah, a
Absolutely.
lot of respect for both. Mr. Kiwi said,
Yeah.
question, is all the news we see overseas about the riots in Great Britain really as bad as they make it look on the news? I don't know.
I have watched the overseas
Have you
ones.
seen them? I haven't. I was going to say, I've not seen that.
Yeah, I have. I have. Now look, the thing is, you're always going to see the worst of everything overseas. All you're going to see is the clips of the worst. And yes, it was bad. I'm not going to say it was in any way good. It was. This was pushed out there by social media, which wound certain groups up, and not the whole element of the riot or the protest was that violent, thuggy type. There was a few people who made the whole thing a lot worse. And when you're seeing these films, you're going to see those points because that's what people want to see. They were bad. They were all over the country
Mm.
without a doubt. But like, there was fake news that went out on Tuesday that there was going to be 100 areas that were going to have riots. And even our council called us as a security firm and said we might need help with this or that or the other or protecting certain buildings. And that never developed.
Yeah.
Again, it was because of social media.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was bad in certain areas. What they did to the hotel, just wrecking it and putting windows through and setting fires, was terrible. The police had a very hard job dealing with it all. But you have to remember, if you had 1,000 people there, you may have 100 of them who were the thugs
Yeah.
and the plonkers who were doing it, and a lot of people who are just genuinely upset with things that are
Yeah.
going on in the
Yeah.
country
I was good.
and wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, I was going to say that myself, and I'm not condoning any of the thuggery behaviour, and there has definitely been thuggery behaviour. But like Cobra's just said, a lot of the people in that group weren't being violent, weren't throwing things at the police. They were just trying to protest against something that they didn't agree with. And I truly believe in our right to protest. But it's like I said earlier myself, these protests have to be peaceful. You've got to play the game yourself. You can't act one way and expect the other side to act differently. So as much as there were thugs, I think a lot of those people involved we're just trying to get their voices heard. That's not to condone any of the violence that's happened whatsoever. One thing I'd add on to that is as bad as the riots have been, it's not been all. It's not been throughout the whole UK. There's been areas in certain cities. My nearest city, Nottingham, has been in the news quite a bit because there was a couple of riots in there. But where I am, only a handful of miles down the road, nothing at all. So it's not affected. If it hasn't been,
and this is the thing. If you want to get involved with it, you're going to go to that area and you're going to get involved.
Yeah.
If you're sitting at home and all that, you're not going to see so much of it. As I say, don't get me wrong. There were some really bad things, and I totally disagree with the violence and the crap that was going on. So what you see abroad is probably not. You probably think the whole of England was alike, and to a certain extent, some of it was, but no.
Yeah, no.
But as I say, keeping on a lighter note, because I'm in quite a good mood with this, Wolf's a bit of a nut. He's gone, okay, Cobra.
I saw
you
that.
Or the Rock. Right? I mean, come on, bro, you're picking actors, right?
Oh.
And yes, the Rock is big, right? And I don't know what his fighting ability is or anything like that, so it's a hard one. Big doesn't necessarily mean that you've got the skills. I've trained for years in Krav Maga and all that sort of stuff. I don't know with that one. He's probably younger than me. If we're talking about this age, maybe The Rock. Maybe not.
I saw that one and I thought, well, actually, that is quite a closer matchup, certainly than Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, Rock started off as a fighter. He
did he? Right. So there you
go.
So,
he would. Well, I mean,
he's got that
he was a real fighter, wasn't he? Then he joined the WWF, which it's not real fighting. But when people say the WWF is fake, it's scripted. But the hits they get landed are real hits. You've got to be a tough guy to be able to take it.
Oh, without a doubt.
So. He's definitely got some training. He'll know holds. I know you know the same through your training you've had for work, like holds to get people and restrict them, that kind of thing. So I think you and The Rock, both big guys. I think that one would. But I'd pay.
It'd be interesting.
I'd pay my ticket.
I think he's younger than me, and he's a lot fitter than what I am now. So if it was right now, I'd say The Rock would probably win. If it was back in the day at my peak, I don't know.
You say that, but I'm just going to check how old The Rock is because he's getting on now, mate. He's 52, so he's around your age.
Oh, he's my age.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I think to be fair though, bro, he's still fitter than what I am now.
Possibly.
I haven't taken care of myself as well as he has. He's in the public eye all the time. I would say if it was right now, I think The Rock. If it was back in the day. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to put my money on Cobra because you're my boy.
Oh. You're too nice.
And a lovely message there from Space Miner. It's fantastic to have you here, Space Miner. He's put, speaking of stars, look at the host and the guest, and what a wonderful thing to say.
Oh, brother, thank you. I'm no star. I'm just a normal, everyday
No,
geezer.
you are a star, my friend. 100% you are. And Cranky Stack has joined us. Thank you very much for joining us, Cranky, my friend. And everybody else who I've not shouted out as of yet. I know Ian Ritchie, and a few other Davinia Robbins has joined us. So Baron Vampsky's here. I love Baron Vampsky's name.
Oh, haven't seen him for ages.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy, Baron is. So thank you to literally everyone who's come across to join us. We're having a fantastic night tonight. It may not be going on as late as the normal Stack Chats do, but that's only because myself and Cobra had late nights last night, didn't we? So we
Yeah, I was up till 6 in the morning.
Yeah, and I was saying to Cobra, in fact, we spoke on the phone yesterday, didn't we? And I said to you on the phone, like, I'm absolutely exhausted. It's just been one of those days, and I sat down to enjoy the Cobra auction, and I woke up. I must have fallen asleep about quarter to 8. I woke up about midnight, and then I couldn't get back to sleep after that. So it's we're both
Oh.
sat here burning candles at both ends, but it's still a fantastic night. It always is when we go live, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Good conversations, bit of fun, bit of deep talk. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, always good. Always good.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if anyone's got any more questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer literally any question you've got. But yeah.
Yeah, same.
Am I on next week, TSC? Do you want to be on next week, Stephen? Shall we do Stephen next week?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? There we go. Stephen with Freeze Reviews next week. It's been too long since you've been on, buddy. I keep saying it. So there we go. That's made my life a little bit easier.
365 in the house.
Hey,
Welcome,
365.
welcome.
It's fantastic to have you here, mate. We're having a good old put the world to rights session, really, aren't we, Cobra?
Put the world to rights. Go back in history and talk about teletext and CFAX. Wolfie's sort of asking me who I can beat in a fight.
Yeah. I've got one for you.
Go on,
Who would
then.
win in a
Go on,
fight between Bigfoot and Chewbacca?
Oh, come on.
No, you got to think about it.
One, you don't even know if it exists, and if it does, we don't
Well,
know. all
no,
the stats
I know
on
we
it.
don't know
And
Chewbacca
the other one
exists.
is a geezer inside. And the other one's a geezer inside a suit.
No.
I mean? So
But-
I'm going to go with Bigfoot.
Well,
then.
the thing is, right, Bigfoot, he's got the animalistic nature, he's untamed, but you know, the Wookiees, it maybe understands fighting techniques better. I don't know. They're both big and hairy.
Brother, the Wookiees. I'm going to break something to you now, and I really want you to understand this. Take it in your stride. Don't get upset, brother. You ready?
They're not real.
Chewbacca is just a man in a suit.
No, it's not. No, it's not. He's a big hairy guy that lived in a place a long time ago, in a galaxy far away.
Bloody hell.
It was just a joke question, but I do like to pull that one out every now and again. Who would win the fight between Chewbacca and Bigfoot? But Bigfoot, what's your thoughts on Bigfoot? Do you think it's real? Do you think there's something out there that we've not discovered?
I think there's a lot of creatures out there that we haven't discovered. I think we know, or in general, people think we know most of the planet and the creatures and all that lot. I think there's still a lot undiscovered, especially in the oceans.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, the oceans are very deep. We can't get to certain bits of them. So especially in the oceans, is there a possibility that there's a big ape out there type creature called Bigfoot, what we've named Bigfoot? Yeah, absolutely. There's a possibility, but we haven't got any real proper evidence of it. So it's very hard to say anything, really, is it?
It is. And there is literally no solid evidence. You know, the people that come forward and say that there is solid evidence, it's always hair or something, and it always gets DNA tested, and it always comes back to like be some sort of other animal.
A wolf.
Exactly. The thing about Bigfoot to me though is that, you know, there's nothing magical about it. It's just an undiscovered great ape, which makes me think, you know, it is possible to be out there. When you look at things like the Billy ape, which was only discovered around 2009, 2010, which is a 6 foot tall chimpanzee, and it's its own species. It is different, you know, different to an actual chimpanzee. It shows you that there could be large things out there that we haven't discovered. But yeah, I agree with you. There's literally no evidence. I feel I think the Gimli Patterson video, which is the most famous one of him walking across that river, I personally think that's fake. I don't think it's real, because they were out there they were filming a documentary about trying to find Bigfoot when they found Bigfoot, and it just seems a bit too much of a coincidence to me. But it's very interesting. The same as say, it's one that I do think, well, it could be real, because, you know, same as say, it's just a large ape. You know, it's not anything magical.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not something that couldn't be possible. There's absolutely a chance there's an ape which is that big and we haven't discovered it. But I think we probably would have. Do you know what I mean? Or seen more evidence for it or whatever. So
Now, Shine's put a great question in there. Do you think the megalodon lives in the ocean or any other crazy animals? I mean, I was...
100%.
Yeah. Are you saying 100% of the megalodon or the other crazy animals? I'm assuming the other crazy
animals that we haven't discovered.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, the megalodon for me, it's kind of up in the air. it's so difficult to find. You know, the fossil tooth that we found are so old that they say it's extinct now. But it's so difficult to find any of remains of a megalodon or anything like that in the sea.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility it definitely could still exist in deeper regions of the ocean. I literally saw a headline today about a new, very large serpentine creature being spotted. That's a new species in the ocean. Look at things like can you remember the tsunamis that happened in Japan
Yeah.
around 2005? When
Yeah.
when the waters receded, it washed up a load of animals, and some quite a few were actually undiscovered creatures. And you can look at things like the coelacanth is a great example, because that was thought to have been extinct millions of years ago, and they actually found one probably about 100 years ago, and we now know the coelacanth, which is like a prehistoric looking fish, it still exists to this day. And it just goes to show, you know, how easy something could be lurking in the ocean, and we would just have
Absolutely.
no idea. So I definitely feel there's a lot of things in the ocean that we're not aware of, because we've just.
I agree. I mean, look, I mean, we both dive. I dive quite regular. I love it. And there's things that I've seen down there which I didn't even know existed. And not that I'm any expert and I know everything that exists in the ocean. I'm not saying that, but you know, there's so much down there, and the deeper you go, it changes. The creatures change.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so much we haven't discovered about the ocean, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%. Great question here, and I'd love your opinion on this one. Scott Silver's put question: if you think you have a particularly lovely example, would you advise getting your coin graded? Is it really worth it?
Okay, so I would say on bullion, not at all. I wouldn't grade bullion at all. So when you get your grading slabs and they say MS and all that lot, that's a bullion coin basically. No point for me. On proof, if there's something you really like, and you want to preserve it in a way that, look, it's got all the details on it, it's verified, it's now slabbed, and it's preserved in that way. I like slabbing a few things. I mean, I was going to put some out. I've got quite a few slab coins, and I've sent off quite a few to get done. Even things like, what did I have? You know, the little comic type 1 ounce silvers that I've got. I slabbed a couple of them just because I really, really liked them. The Entity, I think, was one. I had one from The Entity, and that film I absolutely loved. And so I slabbed it. So really, personally, I don't think it's worth doing bullion, but I think if there's a proof piece that is very nice, or you know has some value to it and could go up in the future, yeah, I like to have slab stuff. But again, it's down to every individual and how they feel on that. Having it slabbed does not necessarily mean it's going to go up in value, or that people are going to pay much extra for it. But it could, and it preserves it, and it records it, you know. And then if you go on NGC website, you can find the actual coin with the code that you have. Like I slabbed a couple of 2.5 grand silver kilos. And they're on record now in NGC.
Yes, yeah.
And I think I'm the only one who slabbed them. So I mean, sometimes yes.
Yeah, because you're right. The NGC will tell you how many coins of that type exist with that grade in the world. So I when it comes to bullion, I agree it's not worth having bullion sent off to be graded. The only graded coins I own I've got 2 MS70 Silver Eagles. I've got the 2013 and the 2014, but I bought them knowing they were MS70, which can be very different. But I absolutely agree. Having it sent off yourself to be graded, it's a bit of a waste of time when it comes to bullion stuff. If you looking at something that's already had that grade, you know there's no risk to it whatsoever. That's something else. I've actually got a video that's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks, touching on that very subject, graded coins, and is it worth getting coins graded, etc. It's because Cardiff Gold sent me a few bits, and in there was a MS70 Silver Eagle, which is now in my personal stack because I had to buy it off them. Because I already had the MS70 2014 Silver Eagle, and it was the MS70 2013 or vice versa. I think I had 2013 and they sent me 2014, and I thought, well, it goes in. It's in date order to the one I've already got, so I kind of had to get it to go with the silver one. So I didn't end up sending that one back and bought that for myself. One thing I'd touch on, I think you've answered it extremely well. However, where it can be a little bit different, I think, is numismatic pieces like old coins, etc. And I think,
yes,
in that basis, if you've got a very particularly nice example of an old coin, it can very much be worth grading. Yeah,
absolutely,
it really can.
Yeah.
But
I don't really, I didn't mention that because I don't really know enough about them. I always say, like, the older coins, I don't have a lot of knowledge on, but you are absolutely right. And there's a massive, massive market for them as well.
There are.
Again, I don't know enough about them.
Yeah.
But 365 has asked something which caught my attention. He said, got a video coming out next week showing he did put slapped Pokemon cards.
Slapped Pokemon cards.
But he meant slabbed. What are your thoughts on them? Well, 365, I used to play Magic the Gathering, which was the card game prior. It was actually one of the first, or the first, of these collectible type cards.
Yeah.
And Pokemon then came out and it was massive, massive, massive. And some of those Pokemon cards are worth a lot of money. And 365, out of those Magic the Gatherings, there was stuff like the Black Lotus, which was one of the first series of cards that came out. And the price of them now, I don't even know, but it was in the hundreds of thousands or whatever, massive. And I was talking then about these cards that you see in my display, which are the silver cards of the same type of thing. So they bring out loads of them. They're common, they're rare, they're extremely rare, etc., etc. And they've brought that into the silver market now. Yeah. So these are 1 ounce coins, like, for instance, say the Spider-Man here is a 1 ounce coin, and it has a rarity to it. And the first sets of these were Star Wars, then Marvel and DC, and now Harry Potter's coming out. And certain ones of these, the rarer ones, of course, not the common ones like these ones, are going up in value massively.
Yeah.
So I love all that stuff, really, really enjoy it. But I'm now doing it with these silver 1 ounces, and I can't wait for Harry Potter to come out. Where I'll do a live opening on them again. But the rare ones of them are doing well. So, yeah, I love them.
Yeah, fantastic. Great answer. And going back to graded coins, I think you answered it perfectly when it comes to bullion proof coins as well. For me to answer 365 question, I don't know enough about Pokemon cards. I know a lot of them, some of them go for silly money. I know one of the influencers, Jake Paul or Logan Paul, etc., bought a house with a Charizard. I know the Charizard is worth ridiculous money.
Yeah.
But I personally don't know enough about them. I don't know what I'm looking for. But one thing I do like, and this is something I say on the channel, is you can invest in anything. Literally invest in anything. Pokemon cards. You look at people who invest in old vintage trainers. Some old Nikes can be worth stupid money, can't they? You know what I mean? So, if you know what you're doing, comic books, absolutely.
Watches,
literally anything. Pez dispensers. If you know what you're doing and you're getting the right things, there's a lot of money to be made in all kinds of things. So, although I don't know enough about Pokemon cards for me to get involved in them, I fully understand that there's a lot of money to be made, especially for people who understand and know what they're looking for. If I opened up a packet of Pokemon cards, I could get the most valuable card in the world and I wouldn't even know it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is what I said, knowledge is everything.
Yeah.
But as 365 said with the Harry Potter, it's a very popular franchise.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a massive set that comes out. Marvel was really popular as well. Star Wars was really popular. Massive franchises. But for us over here, did you know Harry Potter is more popular over here than it is in America?
Yeah. I get that.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it makes sense to me because I think it's more relatable to us over here. Being set in the UK. And
it was filmed here.
Yeah.
We worked security on the last 4 films.
Yeah.
And then I did the after party for Harry Potter, and took care of them all that
Yeah, fantastic.
during that. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'd same as say I was young when Harry Potter books came out, and I truly enjoyed watching them, reading them, and I enjoyed watching films when I was younger. I'm not so bothered about it now. I'm not Harry Potter mad. I got the entire collection of Harry Potter coins from Royal Mint. That was not so much because I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter. It's more because I thought, you know what, Harry Potter, it's like you just said, it's a very, very popular franchise.
Yeah.
And I could see them doing well over time. Now, whether or not that's the case, probably not. It's when it comes to Royal Mint proof coins. But I enjoy having them. They're nostalgic to me, and I think it's great. But fantastic shout out on the Magic the Gathering cards there. What a game that is.
Oh, I love that, bruv. I started playing that when they first came out, so I had the cards from the original first set that came out.
Yeah.
And I had a little briefcase, and it was like wooded off with all my colours and all my lands and all my bits and pieces. I had thousands of pounds worth of cards in it, and it got nicked.
Oh,
I was gutted.
Wow, that is gut wrenching. For me,
Yeah.
my moment like that was my Warhammer collection, which I spoke about briefly on the What podcast, and I had my collection of Warhammer models, miniature models, would be worth tens and tens of £1,000s. I can remember looking. I researched it, and a very small percent of what I had was going for like £3,000, and it was all just given away to my cousins. And they probably didn't have.
We got Gordy in the house,
Hey,
and then
Gordy.
GMD as well.
Hey, and GMD.
So we've got some more coming in.
Absolutely
Good to see you
fantastic
guys.
to have you here, guys. It truly
Who
is.
did? Who put something in there? Hagrid or me?
Oh, that's 100% Cobra. Hagrid's only half giant. He's only half giant, guys. Come on. No chance. No chance.
He's too slow, bro.
Hagrid couldn't
He's
take
too
Cobra
slow.
if he had a magic wand, my friend.
Oh, I don't know about that. There's some crazy magic in that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, yeah, Cobra's got my money on that one again. I'm saying Cobra all the way through. Definitely Tom Cruise. Just gonna take it with the rock.
Tom Cruise, that was nothing.
Oh mate, you're gonna throw Tom Cruise like a baseball.
Oh, come on, that don't even come into it.
No.
Davinia goes, he's dead now. Yeah, Hagrid is dead.
Robert Carlyle.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That is sad news.
Yeah, bro. He died, man.
Oh, he was a fantastic actor, wasn't it? What was his series? Was it Taggart or something? Back in the 90s, he had.
Sorry. I've just seen Rex. Cobra or his body weight in Baileys?
Cobra.
Well, yeah, I'll drink the Baileys.
100%, definitely Cobra. That Baileys doesn't have a chance, mate.
Yeah.
I love it. I can
Brilliant.
just imagine you drinking it like out of a Viking drinking horn or something by the litre.
Yeah, that'd be wicked. I'd do a yard of ale with it.
100%. What's your favourite sovereign portrait, mate, from Jamie?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, if I said shieldbacks,
Oh, I think he
Who would
means
that be?
portrait.
as in the actual royalty
like
portrait,
monarch. But shieldback for the reverse.
I think young Liz.
Yeah. Young Lizzie was good. I
like young Liz on that.
I did like I like the young Victorias, and I'm a bit partial to George V because he's a fantastic moustache.
Right, okay.
Yeah, no.
I think young Liz for me, for sure.
Which the Mary Gillick or the Arnold Machin?
Oh, come on now. You're pushing it, bro. I get sovereigns and put them in my case, and that's that. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I haven't studied them that deeply, bro.
Mary Gillick was the first ever portrait of Queen Elizabeth, and that's the one where she has the laureate crown in her hair. Whereas
No, I'll probably say the other
the
one.
Arnold Machin, yeah, okay, fair enough. I like the third depiction of Queen Elizabeth, one by Raphael David McClure, and that's one where she's wearing like a bit more of the crown on it. It was around the late 80s, 90s when we were doing that one, but yeah, Queen Elizabeth had some fantastic portraits in her early days, didn't she?
Yeah, for sure.
She really did.
For sure. You know way more about that than me, bro. I mean, I do. Being very honest, when I get my sovereigns, I make sure they're in a capsule. They get put in a box and they're away. I don't. That's not one of the bits of gold that I pull out and have a look at or say, yeah, I'm so glad I got that. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. From 365 Days of Silver, question for both. If you were forced to sell your entire stack and put all the money into just one investment, what would it be?
Oh my God, forced. You really have to force me to sell my gold. I
Yeah.
love my gold. Okay. Oh God, that's so difficult. One, because I just feel I would never want to sell my whole stack of gold. It's just me. But if I had to, ah, being honest, guys, and I know a lot of you won't agree, but if I had to sell my stack and I couldn't hold gold and silver, it would be Bitcoin.
Fairs.
I think there's a big future for Bitcoin. It may seem like it's up and down and this and that at the moment, but I do see it having a lot of value in a lot of places. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, if I was for like you say, you're gonna have to put a gun to my head. Obviously, no other way forcing me. But if you did force me to
yeah,
do it, I'd probably look into some sort of AI investment because I think it's still very early days. Like we said earlier in the chat, AI is gonna play a bigger part in society as the years go on. So I might look into doing something in AI or something like that. But
yeah. Very good
I'd
point.
just rather keep my
Nvidia's great for that.
Nvidia is fantastic.
Nvidia,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, very great
yeah.
investment. Nvidia is. I said that when I started my channel, and it's shot up since then, and I think it's going to continue to do so. The tech industry is a great industry to invest into. Um, from Cyber Simon, if you could do a trolley dash in any mint, which mint would you choose?
And why? Um, for me, it would have to be New Zealand mint or the Perth mint.
Yeah,
Um, and probably I would sway towards New Zealand mint, but I love the Perth mint as well.
yeah,
So the reason I say the Perth mint, they have exceptionally good coins, exceptionally good quality, um, and some beautiful artwork on them. So that's why I like them. But New Zealand mint, they have a lot of collectibles that I absolutely love,
mm,
and I do like my collectibles. So that's why I sort of tend to sort of sway to the New Zealand mint, but I love them both pretty much equally. So that's where my trolley would be dashing around. And believe me, as big as I am, I'll be dashing around really fast and grabbing everything I can.
yeah. I can't fault you. I'd probably look at something like the Scottsdale or the Germanium mint, but the two you said would be very high on my list as well. Like you
Yeah,
say, with some
yeah.
fantastic pieces from the produced for Nui by the New Zealand Mint. It really, really has been.
Oh, just amazing.
Yeah, and most of the good ones we've seen on your auctions. So another
And
reason.
Jamie Frost made a point. He said New Zealand Mint are changing their name. They are something like Agora or something like
Yeah,
that. So they are. You're correct, Jamie. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. Sorry, I can't remember what I was saying, man. No, but yeah, no, I think you're right. Oh, yeah, that was it. Another reason to watch your auctions on a Friday night because you get the fantastic and beautiful pieces that a lot of times I can't afford to buy for myself. So it's wonderful to see them on your auctions, mate.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's the nice thing, and that's how it all originally started. Was I wanted to bring in pieces from all over the world that we don't get over here because we just don't see them. But it's grown now, and we're seeing more and more, and that was the whole aim that we get our guys over here and
Yeah,
girls to see these amazing pieces that are out there in the world. Because I'm sorry, the Raw Mint, as much as I wish they would, because that's our mint, and I'm proud of that, but they don't bring out exceptionally beautiful pieces. I'm
they
sorry.
don't.
They get the occasional one. I love the Queen's Beast and I love the Completer coin, and I love some of the great engravers they brought out. But in general, we don't see exceptional
No,
pieces of
we
them. So
don't.
yeah,
We don't, and I think the good stuff they produce is good, but it's not exceptional. You know what I mean? Like
no,
they don't push the boat out too much when it comes to designs. Yeah, but you're right. There's some very nice pieces from Royal
yeah,
Mint, but like you say, nice isn't exceptional, and some of the other
no,
mints really are producing some exceptional pieces of silver, and I think the Royal Mint have to up their game, not only on design but also on quality control because it's. As we've known for a long time, there's been big issues with the milk spotting. Stephen was saying that they've changed their provider for the planchette, so hopefully going forward that will solve some of the issue with the milk spotting. What do you think?
Well, yeah. I mean, look at what the Canadian mint did.
Yeah,
They had
yeah, they
massive
did.
problems
Yeah,
with their milk spotting, and they put a silver guard, silver
Yeah.
shield thing which they put on it, and it changed everything for them.
Yeah.
Canadian mint is looked at as a decent mint now with no milk spotting problems and all that lot. And I just don't understand why we can't do it. They charge enough.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
they
like
do.
they don't charge
Yeah.
enough. So for God's sake, everyone's complaining about it, and you're sweeping it under the rug like it don't exist. Well, it does exist, and you need to sort it out. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Question for both from 365. He says, best 10-ounce silver bar. And that's a bit of a... When it comes to a question, like, you might as well be asking what's your best 1-ounce bar, because it will just be the 10-ounce version of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's a hard one. The trouble is he's put a weight on it. He said 10 ounce.
Yeah.
Now, for instance, out of the bars, I love the 1 kilo Stonex. I think it is a phenomenal bar. And then you got Scottsdale, who just brought out their 15-ounce bar to celebrate their 15 years, and I love that bar. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, Stephen has said RCM 10 ounce, the Canadian Royal Canadian Mint 10-ounce bar. Again, a very nice bar. Would that be my favourite? Don't know. I've got a 10-ounce Beska bar. I don't really rate them because they're all the same pattern every year, so it got boring.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I mean, bars. If you go 1 ounce, I'd say Vortex. I love the Vortex bar.
They're beautiful.
If you go 10 ounce, it could be anything, couldn't it? I got a Han Solo in carbonite 10 ounce.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a really nice. So, do you go collectible? Do you go straight bullion? I don't know. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't like those questions anyway, because I've always said it's like asking me to pick a favourite child. I love. There's so many designs I love. Like you said, the Vortex bar, the St Michael by Scottsdale as well.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of all the Dragon series from the Perth Mint. There's the free Una bars.
Yeah, you're right. Those ones, I love them.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. The 2 Royal Mint Una of the line, and even the Sunshine Mint Una of the line is still a fantastic bar as well. So it's a Stack Collector. Have you managed to say much tonight from CPM? Yeah.
He said load CPM.
I've got the odd word in here and there, mate.
Oh, you kid.
No, I'm joking.
That's because on the What podcast I get so I don't know, passionate, shall we say, about the subjects we're talking about. I can be very sort of like strong in chatting and don't let anyone else speak. But no, CPM, this has been a lot more chilled.
Hey, I mean, the whole point of having you on here is to get your opinion on things anyway. So I always think the guests should be doing more talking than me anyway. So that's no problem at all. Scott's put a question here. If a Royal Mint, we'll do this one. I've got a question to ask you about Royal Mint. If a Royal Mint asked you to design the next 1 ounce silver coin representing the UK, can be historical or current, what would you have on it? That's a good question, man.
Ooh, that's a very good question. Very good question. Wow. I love the beasts of the UK.
Yeah.
So I love the dragon and the thing, but we've had the completer coin in that. I would probably say a type of completer coin with our monarchs through the years.
Great call.
Do you know what I mean? So all our monarchs going back,
so a little, say a little bit like the most recent great engravers, but all.
I guess so.
Yeah, but they were
but with our monarchs.
They weren't all British. Whether you had the Prince George for England, it was basically the guys who were in charge of winning at Waterloo in the coalitions, wasn't it? So so something a bit like that, but with the UK monarchs.
But with the monarchs.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic answer, mate. I really do. I'd love to see something like that. For me, I'd maybe something with an old castle on it, something like that. Or I don't know. It's it would be such a. Go on, mate.
Sorry. I was quite gutted because they brought out a 4-coin series of the London buildings and all that. Buckingham Palace, Tower of London, I think Tower Bridge and something else. And I thought they looked so bad, as in they just weren't prominent and decent enough. So I was quite gutted. I got them all because I love the history of the country and I'm British. But I weren't impressed with the coins, and I think we could do so much more. I really
Well,
do.
I think that's the case so much with Royal Mint, where they'll design something, and I think it's the concept's great, but the
Yeah,
design is poor.
terrible.
Yeah, I think that's something that they're they've been guilty of quite a bit. Speaking of Royal Mint and moving on to current affairs, have you seen what they're looking to do with the new factory they're creating?
No, brother, I haven't paid much attention to the Royal Mint in a while now. When they cancelled, um, what one was it? They
Oh,
cancelled midway.
the Monarchs.
Yes, when they cancelled that series midway, I totally and personal opinion again, and no one has to follow it. But personally, I just went off them totally, and I thought I'm not going to do nothing with them now. And I'm literally collecting the Tudor Beasts because I have been collecting them. I'll finish that, and I really don't want anything to do with them until they sort their act out. So no, I don't know. So
Good,
please do
good
tell.
answer to be fair, and I can't fault you 100%. No, they've created they're building a new factory, and they're going to be recycling gold from old electrical components.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I
That's a
think
good thing.
I don't
The
think
only
it's a bad
problem is
move.
they'll recycle it and make crap.
Yeah, that's the only problem. Just okay, Roman. Just recycle it into standard bullion bars and then sell that to other decent mints to make good things out of it, and
Yeah, yeah,
everybody wins.
yeah.
But yeah, no, they're putting a lot of money into. I think it's going to be the world's biggest gold recycling centre, and same as they're going to be using.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think it's it could be fantastic because there's a lot of precious metals out there that's just sitting untouched. Solar panels are never recycled, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
silver that's could be recycled, and it's basically just a cost issue. Right now, it's not worth what it would cost to recycle the solar panels, but if silver becomes rare enough, you never know. Maybe one day they may look to do that, but yeah, I think it's a good thing. It's been in the news over the last couple of days, so yeah, looking forward to seeing bigger things on that.
Yeah, very interesting.
Abs-
Very interesting for sure.
Absolutely.
But it's just a pity if we had a mint that could produce some beautiful stuff that it would be a great opportunity for them as well. But I'm sure they know what they're doing money wise.
Yeah,
You know what
no,
I mean?
absolutely. Yeah, they're very good at making money. CPM has said great backdrop guys. Thank you very much, CPM. Space
Thank you,
Miner
brother.
has said Cobra. How do you feel about the idea of gold backs for trade?
So they've got them in a few states in America, and people do trade with them. Um, I like the idea because I love gold. So in that way, I like it. Do I think it could be realistically used? No. We're too electronic now. Everything's on cards and computers and transferring. So again, you want to buy something on the computer, let's say, and we are very computerizing what we do with Amazon and all that sort of stuff. How would that work with goldbacks? I mean, I love the idea. I love
It's
goldbacks,
a fun
but
idea.
I don't think yeah, it's a fun idea, but I don't think it's a realistic way that we could trade,
Yeah,
is
like
my
me for
honest
me
answer.
personally, if I was in the US, because I've got a few gold backs. I've got the full set of 2023 and 2024 one gold backs.
Yeah,
I may spend one just for the novelty of having spent one, but after that, I
yeah,
would only ever look at them as a collector's piece. I wouldn't get
yeah,
them to use for
yeah, I
trade.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rex has put in a very interesting comment. He says his company may be in discussions with the Royal Mint for cable recycling. Hopefully, you do swing a
Brilliant.
site visit, mate. That would be absolutely fantastic. MGMD says using scrap to make scrap. I think it'd probably be more more on place if it was using scrap to make crap, if it's a Royal Mint.
Yeah.
But yeah, very well said, mate. Stephen said Royal Mint Lunar coins are just rubbish. Yeah, looking at just this year for the Lunar Dragon, I thought
Terrible.
ours was the worst of the ones I've seen
Yeah,
so far. Um,
terrible.
yeah, 100%. Scott Silver says electrical components. Does that mean they'll have trackers? Oh yeah, that's it. Definitely, 100%. As we know, like a lot of the new pieces of silver being produced has all got trackers in it. I'm joking. I'm joking. Great gag by 3650, and I've
Yeah,
just picked up
for
my
sure.
own 2 ounce tracker right there from Silverpunk, and what a wonderful piece, and what a great gag that was. It really was. Uh,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, 100%. Scott, yeah, we've done that one. Creative Precious Metals is wishing a very happy birthday to Stephen God's Money. I'm just going to try and run through the comments very quickly because it's it's duck rate o'clock, mate. So we'll get that sorted in a minute.
Okay.
Rex, make sure to drop a SS card on your visit. 100%. Drop them everywhere. Put them anywhere you can. Just throw them around like ninja stars. That'd be fantastic. Brian Vansky, a 1995 motherboard and old GPU might look nicer than a Roman coin. I actually agree. I actually agree with that. I really do. 100%. Rex says, I'm still on a mission to get Silver Trader into our Discord. Oh, yeah, well, that'd be fantastic. It's always great to have new people in the Discord. It's always fantastic to see that. Your time is now. No reason why we can't start trading it. Is that gold or gold bucks?
Gold backs. Yeah. I mean, your time is now. I agree. It could be done peer to peer if everyone agreed to do it, or if people agreed to do it, you could do it. But as I say, in a computerized world, I don't think it can be done very easily.
Yeah, no, 100%. Just 1 second. Hold on 1 second. What have I done with my duck race list?
Well, jumping. Say hello to Ron from me. Tell him to give me a ring sometime.
Yeah, 100%. Let me just have a quick. I think I might have lost my duck race list for the evening, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's annoying. Do you mind just looking at the chat for a minute, just to respond to comments while I quickly redo the duck race list?
So 365 go straight to the winner. Your time is now. Says peer to peer. We can start and put it on YouTube, TikTok, etc., and get it trending. The trouble is, your time is now. What's the value? Because we pay over the value of gold, which is in the actual gold back. We pay over that value to buy them. So you'd be paying over the value to then trade it for less value. It just doesn't work. If it can be brought out in a big way, then yes. If it was a thing of people saying, right, we are going to trade in this, yes. But I just don't think, with the production costs and all that lot, that there's any point in doing it. There's so little gold in there compared to what you'd be trying to buy.
Yeah, 100. I agree with that 100%. I think it's a great concept. It's a great novelty. But reality of it, like you've just said, are you going to get the same value as what you're paying for the piece? If you don't get to the same value when spending the gold back as what it costs you, you're just losing money by spending them, aren't you? Really? And I think when I've spoken to people, the spendable value of them is lower than the actual cost it is to buy them. So yeah, 100% with that. I mean, I would love to.
Jamie Frost has made a point that I really need to address. Well, so Jamie Frost very kindly sent me, I think through you, the oval Japanese coin.
It did, yes.
And then he sent me a COA with a letter in it and all that. And first of all, I'll answer that, and then I've got to say something to everyone. So yes, I did get it, and in there he put, "Have you still got the oval Japanese coin?" And there's this holder for it and all that. So thank you very much for that. I do still have the Japanese oval coin. I love it, and I did get the CO and everything else. So thank you for that. But this is a big shout out to everyone, because I've been extremely busy over the last few months with my security and all that. In summer, it goes absolutely mental. I've been traveling the world and doing all sorts of work. And as you can see with the auctions as well, I haven't put many videos out, guys. And I've had so many poker chips from Nerd UK and so many different people, and I haven't done mail calls and thank yous to everyone. So look, I apologise for that. As I say, I should have done them. And I've received so much. So I want to thank everyone who's in here who sent me something. I do appreciate it. It goes into a beautiful chest and is all kept. So yeah, I had to get that one out there. Sorry, bro.
Oh no, mate. I need you to take over for a second while I just copy the last couple of people across, because I've nearly done it again. I did this already earlier, but I obviously didn't save it properly, which is my own fault. Just one more. There we go.
Jumping says, I'm loving the new copper coins for the art and not the money. Absolutely. I think copper in coins looks absolutely beautiful. And a lot of copper pieces come out which are great, but they are not an investment. No. They're just for enjoying the beauty of them, and they're great for that.
Yeah.
Dave says, They're trying to get rid of money. Gold backs will never happen. Absolutely right, Dave.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of cash out there. They want us all using electronic money. So it's a pity because I do love a gold back. But yeah, you're absolutely right. GC Stacks has joined the house. Welcome. 365 says, I didn't get the memo. Copper wasn't an investment. 365, I think you're a bit late on that one, bro. If you didn't get the memo, you're in trouble, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree. Copper it's a beautiful looking metal. Great as a collector's piece, 100%.
Yeah.
The only thing with copper is if you look at the scrap value or the melt value of copper compared to what you're buying, it's not even close. You know, it's you know, where silver and gold, you can buy them, you know, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but pretty safe to say if you buy either silver or gold, you hold on to it for long enough, then you know the spot price will overtake what you paid for the item. You know, but you know, it's never going to happen with copper. Copper, I don't think it will ever be worth as a raw metal what you're paying as a copper piece. But I am glad to say I've got the list sorted, so don't worry about that, guys. I do need somebody in the comments to let us know how long the duck race is going to be. It's got to be less than 2 minutes. From the first answer we get is what we're going to do for the time, and we'll just wait for someone to put a time on there. This is me having to show that I do not fake these duck races, regardless of what people say in the comments. You know, 1 minute and 20, 1 minute and 20 seconds. Both Ian Ritchie and Rex KDB said the same thing. So 1 minute 20 right there. Here we go. Let me just go over. So I've got to add you onto the. Here we go. Right. In fact, let me go back onto that. Go into studio mode so I can add you on while without showing my OBS studio, because that's going to be a little bit boring. But we'll add Cobra into that. There we go. Got you in there. Now people.
Thank you.
It's all right. It's just so people can hear you while we're doing the duck race. I noticed I forgot to do it last week with Coin Noob, so you couldn't hear him talking to me while we did the duck race. But with that being the case, we are now here. You should be able to see the duck race appear on your screen very, very soon. I've got the list of 19 people, and to enter, you had to what was it? Chips and gravy on the comment last week. So we'll pop another one up there in a moment. But for now, we'll pop 1 minute and 20 on the timer. We'll set that, and that's a good enough group of ducks for me right there. We've got Beefeater Duck, Bat Duck, Snowman Duck, King Duck, Bob the Builder Duck. Yeah, we're going to go with that one. So, Cobra, as my guest, if you can count down from 3, as soon as you say go, we will start race and find this week's winner.
All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off, and straight away it looks like it's Red Zigzag Duck. Your time is now, who's got the early lead, but it is very, very close. Too close to say right now. Cyber Soundman is creeping ahead, and so is Stu's Metal Detecting. But where is this going to go? Nobody knows as we come to the final minute of the race. There we are, 1 minute left to go. Cyber Salmon is dropping back a little bit. Stu's Metal Detecting is staying strong in the front. He's now at the lead. It's Stu's Metal Detecting, followed by Silver Stag Stacker, followed by Your Time Is Now. We're coming into the final 3/4 of a minute of the race. 45 seconds left to go, and Stu's Metal Detecting is pulling back a little bit. Too Great to Forget has come forward, but he is also pulling back, and now Coin Noob TikTok is making a bit of a run for it. So is Deaxus. Just over 30 seconds on the race. Where's this going to go? Nobody knows. We will find out in 30 seconds time. Normally it's about the 20 seconds mark. It will all change, but let's see what happens this week as we come up to the 20 seconds. As we go 20 seconds, is it all going to change? And it does. They are pulling back a little bit. Nobody is making a run for it just as of yet. We're coming into the final 10 seconds. It's going to be soon. We're going to know who's taking this week's race, but right now it is Blistering Barnacles Magnets as Beefeater Duck. Oh, who's this storming away? It's Too Great to Forget. I think he's got the finishing line in his eye, and he has. It's Too Great to Forget. How close was it this week, people? That was so very close. But Too Great to Forget. Fantastic work. Well done on that. Let me just get rid of a duck race because it's going to keep quacking in my ear. But there we go. Too great to forget. What a fantastic race that was. If you're in the chat, let me know your address either by DM on Stacker Social, or you can contact me by email with the email address that's in the description of this video. So, Cobra.
And what's he won?
He has won the channel bundle that you see in front of me right here. So, in honour of having the mighty Cobra Stacker with me today, you've got a Cobra Stacker channel sticker, you've got a Stack Collector channel sticker, you've got a Stackers Social sticker, you've also got the Stack Collector poker chip, you've got the Stackers Social poker chip, you've got a Cardiff Gold poker chip, you've got the Stackers Social 1/10 Silver Britannia, and the Backyard Bullion TSC custom channel bar. So very well done to you, too great to forget. Congratulations on that one. We will be doing another duck race next week, but to choose a competitor, what phrase are we looking for next week, Cobra mate?
AI will rule the world.
AI will rule the world, or AI rules. We'll shorten it down.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. So here we go. So I'm going to be joined by Stephen with the Freeze for Views next week, and for the duck race for that, you need to put AI rules. I'm just putting the post on right now. So for next isn't spelled with a B. Next week's duck race, which I believe is going to be the 17th of August, isn't it, next week? So there we go, and I've just put that post on the community section of my channel, so all you have to do is pop over there and put a comment on that post, AI rules, and you will be in next week's duck race. But yeah, commiserations to everyone who took part but didn't win, and massive congratulations to Too Great to Forget as well. So yeah, Rex has said, I'm still amused by Size Duck's likeness. Yes, very much so, very much so. I see exactly what you mean there, Rex. That was very well done. I have no way of knowing 365 as I don't rig my giveaways. So,
I saw that comment, that made me laugh.
You know, I don't know what more I could do to prove that they're not rigged. I do them live. I get people in the comments to choose how long they're going to be. I'm pretty good at editing, but I can't edit things while it's live. So, yeah.
You'll always get people saying it's rigged. They say about the pyramids, they're rigged.
I know, and I know for
they're having a laugh.
And I know for a fact that the pyramid's not rigged because I helped you set up the thing on the screen, didn't I? So yes, I can vouch for that. But yeah, you're right. We're only having fun, and like BB said.
Oh, you set up a great thing for me as well. I've got to thank you, bro. The sniper shots and the helicopter shots videos are absolutely brilliant and hilarious to watch.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, mate. No, it was a lot of fun putting them together. I did have fun putting them together. We'll get a few more done for the channel going forward because it's good to have a little bit of a mix. Davinia Robbins, it's not in the live chat in this video. I've put a community post. So if you go onto my channel and you click the community tab, you'll see there's a post there that says for next week's duck race in brackets 17th of the 8th. Great shout, GG. I'll try and jump on for a bit. What was that regarding? Let's have a look. I think I've missed that comment there. Let's have a look. Speaking of the pyramid, was last night the biggest win, Cobra? It was, wasn't it?
It was the biggest win. £810 worth of silver. The biggest win prior to that was around 400. The win before that was about 350. So yeah, double. It's just a massive win last night. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I mean, the pyramid. I think it was a brilliant idea, mate. I really do. And you know, the win. I can remember when it was first won. You know, and it was Jumping in Silver, wasn't it? Who won the first one, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can remember thinking,
LeBell as well.
Yes.
LeBell, I think. LeBell was the first, maybe.
No. LeBell was second. Yeah, I know this because I have to clip them for you.
Oh, yeah.
But I know the point I'm making is I can remember when Jumping won, I thought, about 300 quid's worth of stuff. What an incredible win that was, and I think LeBell's pot was slightly larger than that, and this one just blows them out of the water. It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? And sorry, I've just seen your time is now. It said poker after this. I think that's a great idea because we're not going particularly late tonight because I'm tired and I need to bed. But yeah, I think we should have an after party in the poker lounge. What do you think, Cobra?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, 100%.
I love a good game of poker. I might join you.
It's not so much about the poker, unfortunately, when it comes to Discord, because it does glitch quite a lot. But it's great to just
Oh,
have a chat and get together, because you can have a voice chat in there, so you can just talk amongst yourselves. And,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a lot of fun. After
I
party
might have to have a look.
for sure in the whiskey lounge, says CPM. Yeah, I think you might as well do it in the whiskey lounge, haven't you? Because it's poker is quite glitchy on Discord, unfortunately. And last time we did it, you couldn't. All the cards were blank. You couldn't see who won, and I
Right.
just sat there literally just clicking call. But it wasn't about the poker. It was about the chat, because we had Cyber Soundman was in there. I'm pretty sure Stephen popped in for a bit as well, and it was just a great chat in there. So either poker lounge or whiskey lounge, whichever. I think both are great ideas. Stephen's asked who won the pyramid, mate.
That was Steve Davis. Steve Davis won the pyramid last night.
Well done, Steve Davis. The landlord is a bad influence, says 365, and I'm not sure what that refers to. Is that in Discord? Are you calling yourself a bad influence there, buddy? If so, I agree 100%. Divinia said left a comment. Thank you, Divinia. Yeah, you will be entered into next week's duck race, and good luck to everybody who does so. But in a few weeks' time, on the 31st, that's when the giveaways are going to be astronomical, purely due to the generosity we've seen from the people in the community. Just like Cobra Stacker right here, with the incredible coins, and the coins you've sent across, they're valued at about well over £500, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They are. They're retail price is over £500, but it's not about that. I think everyone in the community, look, some can do more, some can do less. So don't ever feel that you have to do anything, or it's just, look. I started my little journey around 365, yourself, and a few others of us. And when we started, there was only one or two people doing YouTube and all that lot. So obviously, Backyard Brilliant's been around forever. 365 was one of the main people in at that time. And then yourself, me, CPM, and all that, we all started doing it. So when I see something like Stacker Social, which the people that I joined with say have built something really, really good together, then it's a 1 year anniversary or birthday, and so I did what I did. But yeah, if you give 1 ounce, or you give nothing, or it's just the community giving into something good, and we all get some fun out of it. So I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's no too little that you can donate. Anyone who
No.
donates anything, it's more than
Yeah.
appreciated. I was just pointing out, the fantastic coins that you've donated yourself, because you deserve a shout out for it, mate. You really do.
No, thank you, bro.
It was
Thank you.
incredibly generous of you. 365's let me know he was talking about CPM, landlord of the risky line. Then in that case, 100% agree with you, mate. 100%. Sai saying that Bitcoin is like betting on thin air, which CPM has said it's a very profitable thin air for him. And CPM's done very well on the Bitcoin, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah. How much?
Yeah.
How much profit was there in his 500 subscriber giveaway at the end?
I can't remember, but I think it was more than double.
I can remember.
CPM will be able to tell
Yeah.
us, but I think it was more. So he put £100 in,
Yeah.
and he let it run for a while in Bitcoin.
Oh, sorry, Cobra.
That was going to be his price.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh,
I've just noticed Rex has left us, so I just wanted to say a very, very quick goodbye to Rex KDB, buddy.
thank you, Rex. See you later, bro.
You take care, mate. Sorry, yeah, you were saying that he put £100 in.
Yeah, so he put £100 in, and then he let that run for a couple of months and let people know that was going to be his giveaway, which was a great idea, because a lot of us, for our giveaways, were giving away silver, and it was something different, and it really showed us another investment. And I think it more than doubled. But as I say, CPM should be able to tell us the amount it got to. But £100 in, and I can't remember what came out of it in the end.
Yeah, he timed that £100 very well, didn't he? And it really did shoot up. And by the end of it, it was very much worth winning for a 500 subscriber giveaway. It was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It really was
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Great idea.
No, absolutely. And I thought it was a good idea. I mean, it could have gone either way, couldn't it? Bitcoin could have crashed, and you could have ended up with 40 quid. But that's the whole nature of the game when you look at these kind of things. But it came through, and it truly shot up, and fantastic idea. And it was very different, wasn't it, to what other people did? So it was like 230%. It was of the original value, because it went from 100 to 230.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the guy knows he knows a lot more than most about Bitcoin.
He does, yeah.
And he charts it really well. So there's a lot of good things about Bitcoin. I know it's not for everyone, like we said before.
Yeah.
But if you study it and you understand it, you can see the potential it has for the future. But as I say, each to their own.
Yeah, no, absolutely, each to their own, and yeah, we never feel like you're doing the wrong thing if it works for you. It's all about what you're comfortable with. Like Cobra said earlier in the chat, he's not comfortable with stocks and shares, but you feel more comfortable when it comes to Bitcoin and precious metals, and that's absolutely fine. I mean, me personally, I'm more comfortable with stocks and shares than I am with cryptocurrency, so I tend to keep more to the stocks and shares. But that's what it's all about. It's all I think that's the most important message to take out of it is to make sure you know and understand what you're investing your money into, and try and find things that you do have that base understanding, because it'll make it a lot easier down the line, in my personal opinion at least. But yeah,
no, you're right.
Yeah. It's like CPM says, do your research. You know what I mean?
Yeah, always.
Yeah,
that's his line.
Yeah, and I've always loved that. Even since when he first started his channel, I love a lot of things about his channel. There's a lot of great things about CPM's channel, and he's one of the old school boys himself as well. He didn't start too much after me, did he? You know what I mean? So,
no, it was the same sort of time as all of us. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It was me, you, CPM, 365 was already there.
Yeah.
And we all started together, and then we all had a plan of how we wanted to build the community and have a good community, and it's working very well in different angles that we've taken. So yeah, I'm pleased.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Me too. And I think the What podcast is going to blow up. I do, if he keeps going the way he's going with it.
Oh mate, it's on another level.
Yeah, it is.
It's on another level. The speed that is growing at, and the conversations. As I say, there'll always be people who disagree with me, or disagree with Camel, or disagree with CPM maybe. Those CPM guides it really. He guides the whole conversation really well as well. But the conversations open up your mind to debate.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Being able to debate stuff in a decent way and being friends afterwards. And that's the pity of what it is that a lot of times people don't talk about things and they just have an opinion and they don't open themselves up to having a discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll touch back on that in a second. I just want to pick up Si's latest comment, because he's put, Creative Precious Metals is like the Michael Aspel of the investing community. This is your financial life. And I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that in part, but I think it's more like Michael Aspel, Strange But True. Do you remember that show? Strange. I used to love that show, Strange But True, with Michael Aspel. He used to come on a Sunday evening, and he was like kind of like the paranormal and stuff. But no, CPM's a great guy. I'm just having a bit of a laugh with you, CPM, my friend. But yeah, no, like you were saying, when it comes to, it's like what we said earlier, isn't it? Just in this chat, it's fine to disagree and debate things, but it's got to be a civil debate, hasn't it? You know what I mean? You can't.
Absolutely.
It's like me and you have disagreed. I mean, I know you're a very intelligent guy and you know what you're talking about. But when it comes to personal opinions, there's a lot of room for leeway there, isn't there? And sometimes we don't necessarily see eye to eye, but we'll always come away as friends, even after disagreeing with something.
Absolutely.
Look,
yeah. The thing is, we all lived slightly different lives. We all have reasons why we think a certain way and all that lot. And it's not anyone's more intelligent than the other. It's a discussion, whether it be about religion or being an atheist, or whether it's about what we think of the finances and what's happening in the world, whether what we think will happen in the future is. And we will disagree on certain things. No one is going to agree totally. But as long as you can have a decent conversation and have good conversation, that's the best thing, and always walk away as friends. Look, if it comes to it, agree to disagree on something, and like Cobra says, for sure,
walk away as friends. Your time is now. You're thinking of Ghost Hunters with Yvette Fielding and Derek Cora. Strange But True was definitely Michael Aspel. I rewatched it because it was on YouTube. Ghost Watch. Can you remember Ghost Watch? It got banned for 10 years,
Yes.
didn't it?
Did it? I don't know
Yeah,
about
yeah, no,
that.
it did. It got 100%. It got banned.
Was that the one where they faked so
Faked
much
it,
of it
yeah,
though?
they
Like,
faked it, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because I
yeah.
was really, really young, and I vividly remember this night. I was so young, and I was so into that kind of stuff. I really wanted to watch Ghost Watch, and I can remember my plan was I was going to watch Casualty because it was so gross it would keep me up, and I'd still be awake. And I ended up falling to sleep, and I thought, well, it's going to be, it'll be played again, and I'll be able to rewatch it. And then we banned it for 10 years. And it took me so
Yeah, a
long
lot
to
of
watch it.
fakeness.
Yeah, but it was all.
But people loved it. It got people interested, didn't
It
it?
did. It was a gag, wasn't it? Because they were like people were ringing in and saying like, things are happening around my house and this is all crazy and yeah, it took me so long to actually experience it for myself. But Ghostwatch, it was a lot of fun when it came out. The entire Ghostwatch is on YouTube. Yeah, that's when I watched. That's where I watched it, Raccoon mate. And you're right. It is on YouTube. There's a lot of old shows that are on YouTube to watch, aren't there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. If ever I want to show someone younger than me an advert, even, or do you remember this? And they go, no, don't know what you do. I'll put it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can find everything on there.
Yeah, absolutely. 365 just let him know he needs to drop it off. He's got a few bits to sort out. Might see you all in the Whiskey Lounge later. Great chat to you, in Cobra. Speak soon, everyone. And it's been fantastic having you.
Take care, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, 365. It's been amazing having you here. To be honest, we're not going to be going on much longer. We'll let the party continue over in the Whiskey Lounge afterwards. Because I need to get myself to sleep. But it's been a fantastic night as always. Question from CPM for both of us: if we hit a major global recession, what's your go-to safe haven financially? That's a fantastic question.
Gold.
Yeah.
He knows with me, it's always gonna be gold.
Yeah.
For me personally, a major recession, all that lot, I will be taking my gold or grabbing more gold or whatever I can. And that is where I feel safe. And that's what it's about, and it really is where you feel safe. So for me, gold all day long. There's no question.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, 100%. Under that circumstances, when you're looking at maybe major global recessions, it's going to lead to hard times, and things will look a lot different out in the streets than we do right now. And under that kind of situation, I think gold is probably your best bet by a long way. I think stocks and shares under a global recession, stocks and shares, the market becomes so bloody volatile. It's it loses all the safety net that's there under normal good times. Like the S&P 500 under good times is as safe an investment as you can find. But when you start looking into economical crashes and global recessions, that's when the stock market can go up and down. And the S&P 500,
exactly,
being based,
it will be affected by it because it's the top 10 or top 100?
500 S&P 500.
Top 500.
Yeah.
Sorry, of course,
Yeah.
S&P 500. Yeah, top 500.
Yeah.
So if there's a crash in the markets, it's going to affect the S&P, though it will still stand better than individual things.
Yeah.
But it's going to go down as well.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Actor who played the Something Fool died of AIDS in 1988. I can't see what the can't see a word there because that love heart. It really annoys me on the chat, that love heart, which
yeah.
You must feel the same when you do the auctions. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to just put a little full stop just to make it go.
I wait until the thing moves up one more and then you see it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I assume that's the actor who played the Fall in Ghostwatch. Was it Davinia Robbins? I watched it years ago now, and I can't really remember it that well. But
they were all chatting about Rent-A-Ghost.
Oh, Rent-A-Ghost,
Scott Silver said Rent-A-Ghost was really scary, and I'm thinking
it was comedy, wasn't it?
Rent-A-Ghost, the kids program.
Yeah, it was comedy, wasn't it?
I'm sure. Yeah, I didn't find that scary.
No, I didn't. I don't know if it was. I'd say more of a family show than a kids show, if you know what I mean. Like you could enjoy it if you were older, but it was safe for kids kind of thing, rather than like a show that's made for kids, and if you're an adult you're just not going to be. But yeah, I'm sure Rent-A-Ghost was it wasn't really particularly scary. I think I'm getting mixed up with. Can you remember Ghost Detectives?
Oh, I'm not sure, bro. There was a few of them,
Yeah,
weren't there?
yeah. I know
There
Ghost
was a few of them.
it had quite a famous actor in it for TV, British TV actor, and he was a detective, and I think his partner died, and his partner came back to as a ghost to help him solve
Right.
things, and that was definitely like a family show for a Sunday evening kind of thing. But yeah, no, I think to be honest with you, when it comes to comedy value, I think was it called Ghost Hunters? Which one was the one with Yvette Fielding and Derek Acora?
Yeah, I can't remember. I know exactly which one it
Most
is. I used to
Haunted.
watch it myself.
Most Haunted.
Most Haunted.
Yeah,
Yes, I think you're right.
yeah,
I think you're right.
yeah. I
Yeah.
can remember watching one episode, and my friend pointed out that Derek Acora was walking up the up some stairs, and you could tell he was wearing a thong, and he was like,
Oh no.
yeah, it was like, oh my word, that's embarrassing. But Derek Acora for his comedy value, he was brilliant, wasn't he? You know what I mean? The guy, I don't think obviously I think he was all nonsense he was spouting, but yeah, it was definitely fun, if nothing else.
Wow.
Uh,
There you go.
Claypole Renter Ghosts and Silver Stacker, Randall and Hopkirk. Oh yeah, I remember Randall and Hopkirk. Yeah, not very well, but I do remember them. Martin, time to lay off the Lambrini. 100%. No, that's fantastic. So, guys, as I say, we're not going to be going too much longer tonight. It's been fantastic having Cobra here, as it always is. But yeah, I need an early one tonight. I've got some stuff to do, and it sounds like we're going to be having a bit of an after party over in the Whiskey Lounge anyway. But if you guys do have any questions that you do want to ask either myself or Cobra, now is your chance, because as I say, we will be ending it fairly soon. Jamie said, "How much are 1 gram acid bars going for?" It depends what you mean, mate.
Gold ones. I mean, you can pick them up on some of the dealers and all that. I mean, I haven't checked lately. Obviously, the price of gold has gone back up a bit, but normally around 70 to 75 pound, maybe a bit less.
Yeah.
If we're talking about gold.
Yeah, gold wise, yeah. I think your Tavex is a bit under 70 still. I think that's in the 60s pound
Yeah.
mark. But you'll see them like very very often in the range you've just said, 70, 75 and higher. I'm not gonna lie, I was very shocked when I saw the Oxford Mint 1 gram gold bars come back on stock, and they went up to 90 quid each, and that was quite a big jump, wasn't it?
But I mean, how many of them came out? Did we see them really hit the market?
Not massively.
There was a lot of controversy over that, weren't
There
there?
was quite a bit of controversy, yeah, absolutely, and yeah, because when I first did the first review of video was the day that they first came out on sale, and they got sold out within literally a couple of hours, and but they came back, and like Davinia said, 90 quid for 1 gram silver. Oh God, no. Oh no, I'd never pay 90 quid for 1 gram silver. Gold maybe, if it's a very prestige piece like a 1 gram Geiger or something, maybe.
Yeah, Davinia, I think you're mistaken, as in it's a gram of gold we're talking about. I
Yeah.
say gram of gold.
Yeah.
70
Ah,
to
she's
75, not
she's
silver.
put gold. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, sorry. Probably should have made that clearer. Yeah, with gold. Now I know if you want to talk about silver, these cost me about £5 each for 1 gram, which is it's not cheapest,
Yeah.
but they're nice little pieces. It takes back your bullying time and effort to stamp each and every single individual bar, and I like to have them as giveaway pieces, because I think it's something nice that is affordable for me to give away every week. You know what I mean? But yeah, with gold, cheap end is 65 quidish, expensive end is about 100 quidish, and same as say if you look.
Well, Oziak has just said Tavex have got them at 70,
Yeah.
and Stephen said that Atkinson have got them at 75. So yeah, 70 to 75 pounds.
Yeah, absolutely. You may pick somewhat a little lower than 70. That's what I mean, 65 to 100. But for 65 end, you're looking at cheap bits, and 100 you're looking at bits like Geiger.
Amp. Yeah,
that kind of
amp
stuff.
Geiger,
Yeah. It's got to be something special to pay 100 quid for a gram of gold, hasn't it? But like you
Yeah,
say,
for sure.
I agree with what you said initially. 70 to 75 pound is roughly about where it should be for a
Yeah.
1 gram gold bar. Lovely TSC 1 gram bars. Glad to have one, says Silver Stacker. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone who's won a duck race will have one of my 1 gram bars, which they obviously by week by week they become more common. But yeah, still very very elusive items. Stephen, behave.
Ah, Tech the Coin Hunter's joined us. He
Tech.
goes, this is where everyone's hiding. Thought it was quiet on Stack and Social.
well, it's about to get a lot more busier because we decided that the after party is going to be in Stack Social, and I think we should do that every week. I think after every Stack chat, we should go over to Stack Social, and we should do the same after the auctions as well. When you finish the auction,
Yeah.
have an after
I might have
party.
to pop in and start trying to learn it because I just, I'm an old git, as I said before, and I can pop in and see a little bit here and a little bit there, and then I don't know where everyone is and what's going on, and I just sort of leave. But yeah, I'm an old git, so I'll have to have a look at it a bit more and start joining in.
Yeah, but you've always been very interested, haven't you? I know you very regularly ask me how it's going over there, and you always
Of course.
you always show interest in there, and you always want to see it do well, and that's evidenced by the wonderful coins you've sent across for us to give away, isn't it? So, absolutely. But if we can lure you across for some of the chats, because it's quite, when you're doing the chats, it's quite easy. You just make sure your mic's turned on, and you just, it's you just talking to your phone and you can hear people talking back. So we'll definitely have to try and get you in for one of the chat parties over there. They can be quite fun.
Well, Oziak has just said if you get on Discord on a PC, it's easier to navigate around. So I might have to try that because I've always done it off my phone. So yeah,
and like
Thank you, Oziak. I'll have a look at
like
that.
CPM's just put, if he can get his head around it, then you certainly can.
I don't know. CPM's got a better brain than me,
but Stephen's in there. He's in voice chats. I've noticed CPM's been in there on the voice chats quite a bit regular. So if the rest of the Grumpy Old Kids Club can get in there, mate.
Nerd UK have joined us.
Hey Nerd, how you doing, buddy? Nerd's a great guy, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's another one that I was saying earlier. You missed out, Nerd. He sent me an envelope with stickers and the poker chip and all that. And as I said, Nerd, this is a thank you to all of you out there who sent me stuff. I haven't done many videos, so I haven't done an opening of it and all that. But it is appreciated, and your sticker is up on the wall. So yeah.
Do you know what you should do? In my opinion, what you should do is get the stuff that everyone sent across to you in one little pile and do a live stream, so you can catch up with everyone and say
or I'll do a whole display of all of it because there is a lot, and I'll just do a thank you to everyone. I will do that, for sure.
And Jamie, going back to your question you asked earlier, I did see it in the chat. The Bitcoin, I don't think it's too milk spotty, mate. I think it's all right. I'd have to get it out and have a look at it. I've not had a look in a little while, but last time I saw it, at least it's not too milk spotty, because he asked me, he sold me a Bitcoin 1 ounce Bitcoin coin some time ago, and he asked me if mine was milk spotty because his has gone really milk spotty, but I think mine was all right, and it's always the case, isn't it? The crowned cipher coins. Now, the one I got was really, really milk spotty, but I know there's so many out there that were pristine. So it's just.
I've got my one. Obviously, I put one in my stack, and it's spotless, beautiful. It just depends. Luck of the draw.
Yeah, absolutely. Will we see 1,600 quid gold again? I don't think so, Davinia. I don't think so.
No.
I
mean, you could see it drop down to 1,800 and all that sort of stuff. I don't see it going under 1,800, and I definitely see it going way above that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's going to go up. It's like I said earlier in the chat. There's not going to be a correction pointed down to 1600s again. This is the new normal, and it'll dip up and down a little bit like we're seeing at the moment. But it's going to, over time from here, it's going to go up. Is my prediction on that 100%. And I know you're pretty much the same, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's like Davinia said, a shame. It is a massive shame. Although it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? It's like I say, it's double-edged sword, because with the price going up, it makes it harder for you to buy it, but it makes the stuff you've already got worth more. So the swings and roundabouts.
You got to remember, if you're sort of worrying about that money in that way, look, you want gold to be going up. If it's something that keeps dropping and all that, people won't have confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I joined, as I said, it was anywhere from 1495 all the way up to 1600, 1650, stuff like that, and that became my norm. Now, when it's hit up now up to 1900s, I was sitting there in the beginning going, damn, I can't get it easily, or can't get that one and all that. But then that's the new norm, as you said. You're perfectly right, and it will go up. So at least we see that gold keeps going up,
Yeah.
and that's the
Yeah,
important
it's
thing.
like Ozak's just said as well. I've said this a couple of times. We all love to say, "Oh, can you remember when a sovereign was this much?" Or "Can you remember when a quarter Brit was this much?" It's like Ozak says. In 10 years, we'll be saying, "Can you remember when it was as much as it is now?"
Yeah,
Can you remember when gold was at
yeah,
1900? Going
absolutely.
on to what Davini has said. If it keeps going up, I won't be able to afford more. I, I get that.
By smaller,
Yeah,
smaller
that would be
amounts.
my recommendation too. If you buy, say,
Yeah, buy a tenth at a
yeah,
time.
yeah. If you're buying sovs or quarter Brits right now, look to buy half sovereigns or 1/10 Brits. Whatever you can afford.
I've found that with the auctions. In the beginning, I was selling. I could sell an ounce coin, and people have moved off that, and they're going for quarters now. So I sell quarters and I sell
Yeah,
tenths. I put a couple of ounces in here and there, and yes, they'll go. There'll be people who can afford that. But in general, the fractional gold is what they're going
yeah.
for, and that's because the price is too high for an
That's why I've
ounce.
never been particularly a big fan of 1 ounce gold coins. It's not that I don't like the coins. I think they're beautiful, they're amazing. If money was no issue, then it's a different matter. But it's like exactly like you've just said right there. Yeah, there'll still be people who can afford to buy 1 ounce gold coins. But the more they go up, the more the price goes up, the more it prices people out for that type of gold.
Absolutely.
And I think I
Yeah.
think
I mean, I love them in 1 ounce bars and coins. I love them in 1 ounce. It's getting
yeah,
harder.
yeah.
It's definitely getting. Last year, I don't know how many 1 ounce golds I bought. This year, I bought some, but not nowhere near the amount.
Yeah,
Nowhere near.
yeah, no, 100%, 100%, and I've said this, ever since I started the channel, pretty much, fractional gold is going to become more and more popular going forwards because that's going to be more what people can afford to get hold of, and
Yeah.
you're 100% right there. And like I say, the pieces, don't get me wrong, pieces are beautiful, and I wish I could afford 1 ounce pieces, with no question. But for 1 ounce is a bit too high for me right now. Never
Yeah.
mind what.
And I've said it many, many times. Get what you can
Yeah.
afford. Don't over leverage
Yes.
yourself on anything, whether it's a stocks, Bitcoin, gold, silver. You have to pay your bills. You have to pay your mortgage. You have got different expenses you got. Do what you can within your budget, and you will never go
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Tech Coinsman said, even if you only go to got jewelry. Now, jewelry's a bad example if you're buying it, because as you know, Cobra, you'll always pay more when you're buying jewelry than you'll ever get back for it. There's just so many premiums in jewelry pieces, unless you can
Yes.
somehow buy it for the price of gold. Maybe someone's willing to sell it on that basis. But if you're buying it new from a shop and then looking to trade it back in, what you paid for that, I've got some gold rings right here. In fact, quite a big chunk of the gold I own is in gold jewelry right here. And the nice pieces, I like them as rings, but I would never buy gold jewelry as an investment because there's just too much premium involved.
There is a way to do it,
Yeah,
right? Indian jewelers. If you get in with it, look, this don't know if you can see it there.
yeah,
Hang on,
big
there
chunky
you go.
bracelet.
That there is 10 ounces of 22 karat
Yeah,
gold, right? Now, Indian jewelers, I've got a friend who's got an Indian jeweler, and if you get in with one, you could take in a load of coins and bars and stuff like that, and then they will melt it down and make it into a piece for you.
yeah,
So that's one way of having
yeah,
jewelry in gold, and they'll charge you a little bit for the labour of
yeah,
doing it, but not the sort of thing that you buy if you buy it anywhere
yeah.
else. So yes, there is a way to do it. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The premiums and labour that goes into jewelry is
Yeah,
horrendous.
especially if you're buying
So,
something over the counter. Like you say, there's
yeah,
it's much
yeah,
better way to do it if you've got the gold and you give it to them. Just want to go back on something Divini's just said though, because I think this is a great comment. Talking about gold and buying fractional gold, where she's said buying fractional has higher premiums. It absolutely does. What you got to look at is, you've got to think to yourself, how long is it going to take me to save up enough money to buy a 1 ounce piece, and how much is the price of gold going to go up in that time period? So it might work out cheaper for you to keep buying fractional pieces rather than it would to save up, because if you were decided to start saving up for 1 ounce piece 6 months ago, look how much it's gone up. It's gone up like nearly £500. So you probably would have been better to buy a few smaller pieces of gold, pay that slightly higher premium, and let the value of your gold go up with the with the market value of gold. What's your opinions on that, buddy?
Well, look, the big thing, people talk about premiums all the time, right? Now, yes, if you took that gold or silver to a dealer like Charles or Atkinson's, you're not necessarily going to get your
No,
premium back
yeah,
if you did it immediately. But if you sell it peer to peer, you'll always get that premium
yeah,
back. Do not worry so much about the premiums.
yeah,
Really don't, because you are absolutely right. The premium will soon, if we've gone up £300 in the last 6 months on gold, your quarter's premium will be covered and more.
hmm,
Do you know what I mean? So if you're not saving anything in fractional gold and you're not getting any gold because you think you can't afford it,
you're losing out.
then you're not going to get anything,
Yeah,
are you? You're just going to sit there going, I haven't got any
yeah,
gold.
exactly.
But if you buy a tenth, right, a tenth is about roughly £200 to £210, depending on the piece. That little bit of premium extra that you've paid, you'll get back when you sell it, or it will be outdone
Yeah,
by the rise of the price of
yeah,
gold. So don't worry about the premiums. Just start getting what you can afford. It can be a 20th, I don't care. It can be a
yeah.
gram, but start getting what you can
Yeah,
afford.
no, I highly recommend doing what Cobra's just said, because like one of the themes throughout the whole chat has been how safe an investment gold is, and how people look to gold during hard times economically. So me personally, I think everyone should have at least a little stack of gold. I don't have a huge amount of gold. But I do try and pick up as much I can here and there, and I think you're 100% right in everything you've just said there, buddy. 100%. Coin Noobs let us know about his 0.5 gram gold coin. Did you see that? It was a Canadian mint, wasn't it? That did for 0.5 grams.
Well, look, I've got to say about Coin Noob. Coin Noob did a fabulous review.
Didn't he just?
On the
Sigma,
Sigma
yeah.
machine. Absolutely brilliant. And he pulled out this tiny little 0.5 gram coin. And I had to laugh because at one point I bought something that small and I just thought, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, where's the gold? But it was fabulous to see his reviews as well. Absolutely.
Oh, mate,
If
yeah.
you haven't checked him out, he's now got a channel on YouTube, or he had one, but he wasn't using it
Yeah.
so much. He was always on TikTok. But I got to give a massive shout out to Coinoob. What an amazing 2 videos he's done on that Sigma testing machine. Absolutely
Yeah,
brilliant.
we pressured him to joining or doing more on YouTube last week because we were able to get him to 100 subscribers during the live stream, which was absolutely fantastic. So it's great to see that we've seems like we fairly successfully lured him over to the dark side from TikTok, which is absolutely fantastic. I've had to give him a little bit of help with setting up YouTube videos, which is no problem at all, because it can be a little bit getting your head around it, can't it, with YouTube if you've not uploaded it. It's very, very different to TikTok, but I hugely appreciate. Yeah, I do hugely appreciate CoinNoob doing a few more videos on TikTok, on YouTube, sorry, and his review for the Sigma. Second to none. I mean, I discovered that the Sigma has got. I never knew it could do weights and measures. And he went through it all and showed you how to do it, and it's such a fantastic, comprehensive review of a Sigma machine. He almost got me going out and buying one. It was that good.
Well, the thing is, he's taught me everything I need to know about that machine.
Yeah.
Everything I need to know about that machine. I can confidently use it. What a piece of work. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It truly was, and I've said this to Connu outside of YouTube. We had a conversation, and I told him just how impressed I was by his video. It was absolutely fantastic. It really was. But speaking of his 0.5 gram gold coin, that's actually quite a hefty piece to the smallest gold coin. Do you know how big the smallest gold coin is?
I've heard about it. You're going to tell me because I can't remember. I've heard about it.
0.05 grams.
I mean, really, bro, that's a grain of gold.
That's basically less than a grain of gold, isn't it? But it's fantastic what we can do, like putting pieces of work that small together nowadays. It's like when you see I've seen videos of these labs that can write an entire book on a piece of hair. And it's like, that's incredible, I had micro engraving to that level. But yeah, I can't remember the name of the place, but the the design on it, if they've got the world's smallest village as the design of the world's smallest gold coin, and I highly recommend checking it out. Just Google world's smallest gold coin, etc., or something like that. And as I say, it's 0.05 grams, which now I'm not going to own that and not lose it. There's no way I'm not going to lose that.
I'd have to put it in a massive
yes,
just so I know where it is. You know
the same size as a 1 kilo coin or something, just to prove a point. But I swear to God, I've seen BBA pan more than that out of a bucket of sand. But that's impressive, but quite crazy. The one I commented on today, maybe Coinoob will have to let you know on that. I assume she means the Coinoob video, but he's done a couple now. He's done. He did his first one, which was his review one, and it did very well, which was rightfully so because it was such a great review, and I'm so happy it got really good numbers. Then he did one going through his entire stack. And I'm very proud to say, or very pleased to say, should I say, that having gone through his entire stack, he didn't find any fakes at all. So congratulations on that, Coinoob. And he's also done another one to see how many pieces he can test in under 60 seconds. So he's done some fantastic videos with it, and highly recommend. The Sigmund videos aside, I still highly recommend going out and watching Coinoob's videos because he's a great guy. There's no BS when it comes to him. He doesn't have a BS filter. Coinoob doesn't. He tells it how it is, and that's something I highly respect about him. And he's got a fantastic stack. He really has, and I can't think of any reason not to go and check him out. I've got myself a new 2-ounce stackable. What do you reckon, Cobra? I've got Ganesh.
What have you got?
Got me something Ganesh.
Ah.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the story behind Ganesh?
Yeah, go on. Sounds interesting.
Do you know how he got his elephant head?
I used to know. I can't remember anymore. You'll have to remind me.
All right. So husband and wife, right? It's very, very basic, right? Husband and wife in India, and the hunting trips for men went on for ages. They could go for a year. And so the husband went away on a hunting trip. The wife was pregnant. He didn't know this. And she had the baby while he was away on a hunting trip. Years later, he comes back. She's in the bath. The son is downstairs. He comes in and he goes, "Who are you? You can't be here," and all this.
Yeah.
The father, not knowing he's the father, turns around and says, "Who the hell are you? Who are you trying to stop me?" Gets his sword out and chops his head off.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
The wife then turns round and says, "Oh my God, you've just killed our son." And so he goes out and he chops the elephant's head off and he puts that on him, and that's the story of Ganesh.
That's it.
Just a really quick one there for you.
I love that panthology though. I think there's so many very interesting gods, isn't there? Is it? I could show my ignorance here, but is it the same as Shiva?
No, Shiva's a different god.
No, not the same.
It's all Hinduism. Yeah. It's all Hinduism. Because they believe that gods reincarnate and all that sort of stuff as well. And so you got from the Almighty God, one God, there's incarnations of many gods, and Shiva is another.
Yes,
god.
I was going to say my understanding of it, and this is going back to religious education all those years ago. My understanding of it is that it's one God, but basically broken down into loads of different characteristics, which is where you've got your different gods there as well, like
God of death, God of money, God of happiness, God of health, God of this, God of that.
Absolutely, yeah. And very, same as I say, very interesting. Even if you're not religious, it's still very interesting stories, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
Didn't end so good for the elephants, says CPM. I suppose it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Although maybe the elephant's consciousness carried on, and I don't know.
Yeah, and then the boy, his consciousness went.
Yeah, and the elephant just thinks, I better play along with this. Father, how you doing? Yeah. Who knows?
I wanted to ask you something.
Go on, mate.
So, in Stacker Social and all that, you've been doing these competitions with the commemorative coins or this thing and that thing. When is there going to be a full stack one?
It will come soon. We'll probably do the full stack will probably be towards the end because it's kind of a big one. If you know what I
Okay.
mean. So we're probably leading up to that. We've had two categories up to yet. Was first one was poured silver, which was won by 365 Days of Silver. The current category is commemorative coins. The voting for that one will end tomorrow, and we'll find out
Right.
who the winner of that is. And then going forward, I'll speak to Bits and Bobs, see what they want to do for the next one. But the kind of categories that are going to come up is there's going to be one for a gold, gold stack. There's probably be one that's limited just to silver bullion. It's got to be a bullion piece and not
Yeah.
a approved coin, etc.
Modern collectibles.
Yeah, I was thinking of calling it like art bar. So that's kind of stuff like we're talking about, like here, like the Ganesh things. They're not coins. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily
Yeah.
bullion, but there'll be one for that. Silverpunk made a great suggestion. Antique pieces. So your stuff like this watch fob right here, or I've got some antique silver spoons, that kind of thing. So there goes my silver dragon's paw. So there's going to be hopefully like an antiques category, and then same as I say, to end it off, it's going to probably be like a full collection kind of thing, like show us what you've got, you know what I mean. So I'm really interested into that one, and I think that's the one you need to make sure that you are definitely part of,
I want to.
or not, to give us all a chance. But
Those creative precious metals have gone, really, Cobra? You haven't got a chance in that one, bud. Full stack.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, everyone's got a bigger stack than Cobra. You're not allowed to include not allowed to include anything you bought for the auction. It's got to be your.
I didn't buy it from the
No,
auction.
anything you bought for the auction. Any stock.
no,
You're not
no,
allowed
no.
to include
Oh, of
that.
course.
But but I don't
Oh,
think
no,
you
no,
need
no.
to, do you, with your actual stack?
The thing is, I did a full stack reveal in my videos. Oh, God, it's got to be 9 months ago, maybe
About
more.
that, yeah.
And I really wanted to do another full stack to see where it's gone from then.
Yeah.
So I'm dying to do it, but I'm sort of waiting for your thing as well, and then I can do that video for myself and enter the competition.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely remember your full stack video because I bought your Lord of the Rings coin, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I beat CPM to
Yeah,
it.
and then I had to go out and buy it again for more money.
I've had to do that so many times, but I beat CPM to that one. And Coin Noob's gone and bought it as well. He was saying talking about it and saying, "Oh, beautiful coin." And I sent him a photo. I said, "What do you mean this one right here?" Which I
That is great coin.
it is a beautiful coin, especially if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings. It's not my favourite Lord of the Rings coin. Can you guess which my favourite Lord of the Rings coin is?
Ooh.
I think you should know this one.
Oh, it's got to be. What's his name? My precious.
No, Cobra, think.
What?
Think. What did you buy me for my 40th birthday?
Oh God, yeah, the Perth Mint one was it?
Nui.
Oh,
I think it was. Was it perfect?
Nui.
No, yeah, with the golden ring in the centre of it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic.
Oh wow, yeah.
I can't because you just. People won't know this. This was a conversation we had outside of YouTube, wasn't it? But I've done some help with you getting your auction set up on OBS, etc.
A lot of help.
Yeah, and you very, very, very kindly sent me a few bits of bullion, didn't you, as a thank you for helping you out with it. And I turned around to Cobra, and he sent me that just before my birthday because that's just how it landed. And I can remember having a conversation with Cobra. I turned around to him and said, "Don't you dare send me anything for my birthday now. This is more than generous enough." And your response at the time was, "I don't know about that."
A bit late.
And then I opened up this fantastic, amazing, incredible piece, which is so beautiful. I barely ever look at it because it's so. I've turned into Gollum with it. It's like my precious, 100%.
But bro, as I say, look, being fair, you've done a lot to help me. A lot. So
It's been a pleasure, mate. Honestly, it's been a pleasure, and it's been fantastic watching the auction grow into what it is now. And I think you've nailed it now, haven't you? You know what I mean? You know.
Well, if anyone wants to, I don't know if I've still got those videos up, but if you look at the first auctions, it was literally one phone filming it, and I mean they worked. Don't get me wrong, they worked, but there was no OBS, there was nothing. And obviously, as I said, I'm not the most techie person in the world, so with the help of yourself, I managed to get a brilliant screen and everything. That was down to Stack Collector. But yeah, it was one phone
Yeah,
on its own.
yeah, and then you did it, like you say, you did a great job. Even if it worked, but yeah, I mean, I think it looks fantastic now. And although I
Oh
put it
yeah,
together, it was based on your ideas, wasn't it? You told me the kind of things you wanted in there, and gave me a really
yeah,
good
yeah.
description of what you were looking for, which really helped us. And yeah, I think we've got.
But you've helped a lot of people with their channels, haven't you, bro? Your tech side of it, you've been really good to the
Oh,
community
thank you.
and helped a lot of people in building up their channels or giving them videos for the beginning of their channels and all that, which I think is
Yeah,
brilliant.
no, I try and help where I can. I definitely do try and help if I can, because I know it's with the tech kind of stuff, it can be very difficult, and I've got a little bit of experience in that kind of thing. So yeah, if I ever can help, I'm always more than happy to do so. Coin, yeah, I was meaning to ask you actually. Let me just ask you. I'll make sure I don't show my address. Details, etc. But is it this one here in this little jiffy bag? Because I did receive that, and I meant to send you a message saying, is that 50p for me to forward on? Because if it is, I'll just forward that on and without doing a video on it. But if it's something someone sent me, I'll do a video. Because he said, if I get a weird thing from the Royal Mail, it's from me. Did the 50p arrive? So yes, if it's that, then the 50p did arrive, and I'll get that out to Stu's metal detecting, because CoinDube just keeps winning coins from Change Checker, mate. He just, he can't lose at the moment. I think he's won the last 3 in a row. So he buys one for himself, and he ends up winning one from Change Checker. And the last couple, we've done duck races where people have gone on and put a comment on his video, and then from that list of people, we did the duck race, and Stu's metal detecting won the last one, which was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I'm very excited to find out what this weird package is going to be. And he's just let me know.
Brilliant. Well, he says yes.
Yeah.
So it is.
Yeah, awesome. So I won't bother filming that. Then I'll get it straight out to Stu's metal detecting, along with one of your stickers, one of my stickers, and a poker chip as well. So yeah, that'll be with you very, very soon. Stu's metal detecting. If you're still in the chat, your time is now. I've sent a couple of stickers to her, because I can't wait to see my sticker on her backboard. It's always fantastic, isn't it, when you see your sticker on someone else's channel?
It is nice.
Yeah.
And I noticed that your time is now put a message earlier. We didn't get to read it out, saying that she was going to send me some stickers as well. So I really appreciate that. And I will do a video opening that. I'll have to get back on my videos. As I say, it calms down for me a bit in the way of security in the next couple of months. And then you'll see a lot more videos from me again. But yeah, it is nice to see them up there. And I also have to get a load more stickers printed. I think I had 500 done and they're all gone.
Oh, wow. So too great to forget. Very, very elusive sticker right here. There's no more. It was lucky I had a spare.
Well, when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, yeah. I haven't even got one.
There you go. There you go.
I got one up on my wall, I think, one of my ones, but I haven't actually got any stickers left. So yeah, I've got to get them done.
There you go. Fantastic. Yes, Coin Noob, but yeah, I just meant 50p for that. I know that's not the weird thing that would come in. I mean, I can open it now. Blistering Barnacles, it's the Death Star 50p that Stu's metal detecting one. So I suppose I might as well open it up. I've just got to be careful because I haven't covered the address, and I've given my full name and address details before on the live chat. So right here. Oh, he's. I don't need to put a Coin Noob sticker in there because he's put one in himself. Oh, he's. I'm not. You know what? I'm not. I'm gonna leave that as a surprise. Yeah, I'll leave it as a surprise for Stu to do on his channel, because he's put some extra stuff in there, which I think's very, very kind of Coin Noob. So I don't want to ruin the surprise on that one. So I'll just pass that over to Stu's. But yeah, thanks for getting that over to me, Griff, mate. I'll get that sent out Monday morning, because the post office is not going to be open tomorrow, so that's brilliant. Your time is now. I have it, but haven't opened it. That's fine. You'll know it's mine. It's a white envelope, and I sellotape the edges of the envelope, so you'll know if that's one. And just take your time. As long as you've got it, that's the main thing. It's a gift through Royal Mail, buddy. Well, I'm really excited to find out what that is, mate, and I'll let you know when that turns up. But you really shouldn't have Griff. He's a very, very kind guy. Griff is. Did you see the Scottsdale coin he sent me, the Alien Invasion one?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, it's so cool. Scottsdale have started doing this thing. It's called Alpha Strike, and it's the very first coins that they strike on a series or whatever, they put them in an assay card, and it's called, same say, Alpha Strike. Alpha being like the first, and Strike obviously means strike. But it contains synthetic DNA, which is a counter fraud part of it. And how cool is that?
Very, very. I'll have to look into that. I don't even know about that
Yeah,
one.
no, it's same say it's not something we do just for the alien coins. It's on all their new releases, and yeah, you get a little. It comes in a little TEP, tamper evident packaging, assay card type thing, and they are super cool. I've got to, because I got the first alien coin, and I've got this year's, and I think there's just one between them, so I'm gonna have to get them and keep the series up now, because I think they're a cool design. I know you had the first one on your auction quite some time ago, didn't you? I think it was one of your first. Yeah, it was on one of your first auctions, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. There's so many. I don't know when I had them, but yeah, so much comes out so fast, new stuff. It's very hard to keep up with it all.
Yeah. Have you seen Griff's comment here? He said, "Who's looking forward to my birthday celebrating on their first Stack Chat? They're calling it the Stacker Social Anniversary for some reason, but please, now, Coin Nude. I was willing to let it drop, but now you've just put that comment on there. I'm going to force you to come on the live so we can all sing happy birthday for you, my friend. That's it. Now you've done it. You've done it. You've brought it on yourself at this point, Griff. That's what we did last week. I threatened people that if we didn't get Griff to 100 subscribers by the end of the live stream, I was going to start singing, and it worked very well.
No, I'm so glad for the sake of everyone in the community. I'm so glad you got Coin Nude to 100, because honestly, Stack Collector's voice, don't do it. I've heard him sing with KYH. No, what's it? KYH, yeah. And yeah, it was horrendous. It was horrendous. So
Mate,
please, guys, if ever he threatens that, do whatever.
Mate, it's my go-to. If I ever want to get my way, I'll just start threatening to sing, and believe me, I get my way.
Davinia's shooting off, so
Yeah.
we should say bye.
Yeah, absolutely, and also we've just gone 10 o'clock. I think that's it's been a fantastic 3 hour long chat, mate, and thank you so much for coming across and joining us tonight. But what do you reckon? We'll move it over to Stacker Social now, so everyone else can join in the chat and finish on the evening that way. But is there anything you want to say before we depart, my friend?
No, a massive thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. A massive thank you to you. And also thank you to everyone who has supported me with the auctions. As I say, even if you're not a member, come along and join them. They are a great night. And just a massive thank you for everyone for all the support they've given me. It is really appreciated.
100%. Yeah, sorry, I was laughing because Courtney Noobs just put, "I'm sorry, I'm washing my hair." That's on the 31st. Jamie said, "Bye everyone, 6 a.m. here." Yeah, so definitely a great time.
Take care, Jamie.
Yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning. He's got some
Absolute.
commitment, hasn't he, that guy?
Absolute gentleman. I was just going to say, he really is an absolute
he is,
gentleman.
he
So
is.
thank you.
I remember him sorting you out that Tempo Shuho 100
Yeah.
last year. Yeah, because it was just after.
Yeah, I was really chuffed.
Yeah, it was just after the Charity Live, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely chuffed with that piece. I love Japanese history and Chinese history, so
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
no, 100%.
Beautiful.
Funny enough, actually, two days ago, my niece was at my mum and dad's, and I said to them, "What are you doing tonight? You watching a film or anything?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're watching The Last Samurai." And I was like, right,
yes,
well,
yes.
did you know that your uncle TSC has got real life actual samurai coins from when the samurai's real? And I took round the my Tempo Suho 100 mom from to look at, and they were so blown away by it. They really were. And that's just reminded me a fun fact. If anyone didn't know, there was a point in history where Abraham Lincoln could have sent a fax message to a samurai warrior. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
It's so cool, isn't it? You know, because you think fax machines come years and years later, but the first ever fax machine was invented in 1843. Abraham Lincoln died in 1865, and the samurai period ended in 1867. So, or vice versa with the 65 and 67. So there was that very, very brief point in history where Abraham Lincoln could have sent a fax message to a samurai. I just think that's the coolest fax ever.
That's mad.
Isn't it, Josh?
That is absolutely mad.
Yeah, completely crazy.
One film I've got to mention, right? I've got to do this, right? I know we're closing up.
No, go ahead.
I've got to say, there was a massive chat that we had on the What podcast, and it was to do with financials, AI, and all that
Yeah.
lot. And Camel suggested watching V for Vendetta.
Oh yeah.
It's to do with the
Yeah,
riots and all
yeah,
that
yeah.
sort of stuff. And what a film, guys! If you haven't watched that and you want to see the possibilities
Yeah.
of things in the future, watch
Yeah.
that. V for
Brilliant
Vendetta.
film, but you know what? I've never seen it the whole way through. I've seen it all. So like, I've seen the beginning and I've seen the end, but never in one sitting.
Oh, you've got to watch it, bro.
Yeah.
You've got to watch it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong; it's a film for entertainment, but just look at the deeper message in there, and it is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's got a brilliant deep message. It's the same say I've seen the whole film in separate parts, but it would be worth watching it in one go. I'll tell you what film I watched recently, and I thought it was fantastic. I'm getting really into like medieval history, very much so in around the 9-1000s, like King Canute, King Alfred the Great, that kind of period in history. But what I watched recently, and I thought it was fantastic, was The King, which is based on King Henry V and the Battle of Agincourt. And I thought that was a fantastic film. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I might have to have a look at that. I do love stuff like that, so yeah, I'll have a look at that one. But no, I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Silver Stag Stacker, congratulations. I love that, because Coinoob has said, is the world flat though, TSC? And Silver Stag Stacker has put the correct answer. It's round.
That like a pizza.
It's round, but it's also flat, just like a pizza, and I know because I've eaten one. I've got the silver mask. Yes, you have, Coinoob. Yeah. It's you've done a couple of them on your auction, didn't you? You had them, a few of them in the early days, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it. I think Coinoob's having a little joke. There was a big thing that happened on the auction. I had loads of them. Then I didn't have none.
Yeah.
And then someone kept asking for one. And then when I got them again, he wasn't there.
Yes.
So yeah,
I remember that. I remember. I know.
We'll leave it like that.
I know exactly who you're referring to there. I do. I remember that. He was relentless, wasn't he, for the V for Vendetta mask? Yeah, 100%. But yeah, well, no, we'll end it there. It's been.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic night. We'll end it on a high. But Cobra, my friend, thank you so much for coming across and joining me, mate. We don't do this enough. I know we talk quite a bit on the phone, etc. But we'll definitely have to get you back on
As
soon.
I say, in a couple of months, I'll have a lot more time, and hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be retiring from security, and that's when you'll see a lot more of me.
I can't wait for that. I mean, just because the amount you do right now, when you've got so little time, I can't wait to see what we're going to get from you when you've got a bit more time on your hands, mate. It's going to be amazing.
It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
It'll be amazing.
Got a lot of thanks coming through from everyone, so thank you for your wonderful comments. Baron said, thanks TSC and Cobra for the entertainment and all the great content to make. Really does make me so happy. Thank you. Good night all. What a wonderful comment. And what a lovely way to end. To end the night. So we'll end it on Baron Ramsky's fantastic comment right there, and I will let you all know that we have now rabbled on for long enough, so we're going to leave you in the usual fashion by saying, until next time, look after each other, keep stacking, take care, and goodbye.